There will now be an opportunity for silent prayer or meditation. May we be seated? Thank you. Statements by members. Are there any member statements? Honorable Shabalala.
Sure. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable J.C. Shongwe is given an opportunity. The African National Congress would like to commend all the residents of Mpumalanga for their well-behaved after this long Easter weekend. Would like to commend the Department of Community Safety, Security and Liaison under the leadership of Honorable MEC V.R. Shongwe in coming up with a plan that seeks to decrease fatalities over this long weekend, especially for introducing a 24-hourly shift by traffic law enforcement officers that has been implemented on the 6th and 11th of April 2023. Honorable Speaker, the Easter weekend is traditionally a time of increased travel and traffic on our route, and unfortunately this often results in an increase on road fatalities. To address this, the department implemented various measures such as increased law enforcement, road safety campaigns, and awareness initiatives to encourage safer driving practice in our road. Thank you very much.
Honorable Shongwe.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Let me appreciate the statement from the Honorable Member Shongwe. We really agree with the statement, and we feel as a department that out of that experience during the Easter holidays, if only we can be able to introduce the third shift for the whole 365 days in a year, it can really assist us in reducing road fatalities on our road, because it gives us a pleasure to say as Mpumalanga, we are one of the provinces that have reduced road carnages during these Easter holidays. One of the contributing factors is exactly what the Honorable Member is raising, the introduction of the 20 or the third shift, so to speak. We're looking forward to raise this matter to the Cabinet so that really it assists us in going forward. I've seen in Gauteng, the provincial government of Gauteng was able to purchase close to 75 cars to complement the SAPS in the country. That is what we are as Mpumalanga have introduced first before Gauteng. But because Gauteng economically they are in a better position than us, they have introduced that, and we want to appreciate the statement. Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker.
Honorable Njani.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The African National Congress supports the Mpumalanga provincial government for signing a 3-year agreement with the South African Broadcasting Authority to host the 17th Metro FM Music Awards. Honorable Speaker, on Saturday, the 6th of May 2023, Mbombela Stadium will be filled to capacity for these prestigious awards, wherein South African artists will be rewarded for their creativity and talent in the music industry. It is projected that the local economy, especially the tourism sector, will be massively boosted by hosting the awards. We have expected around 20,000 people to grace the event, Already, accommodation sites are fully booked. You know, Honorable Speaker, that there were some activities in each and every district. And also, as from Thursday to Monday, Mpumalanga is known for its breathtaking scenic landscape that gives travelers a rare opportunity to drive through the panorama route and visit the spectacular attractions nature offers. Honorable Speaker, we therefore look forward to the event and can guarantee that music fans will be thrilled with the after parties as we host it. I thank you.
Honorable Shongwe.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. As the Department of Culture, Sports and Recreation and the Mpumalanga government, we want to appreciate the statement raised by my colleague, MEC Njali. Indeed, we are inviting everyone in Mpumalanga to come and witness the Metro FM Awards, which will be hosted on Saturday. And I want to extend the invitation to all members of the legislature that they will be invited and will be very much happy if we can be supported by our own members. Indeed, Mpumalanga this weekend will be very much busy. And in terms of boosting our economy and economic recovery, we think we're in a better place, and we hope that the guests that will be coming to visit the province will not just come for Saturday only. We hope that they will come to stay over the weekend with their families, with their friends, with their partners, and indeed the nightlife in Mpumalanga will be very, very busy. So pre-parties have started, and even after parties will continue to happen. And the young members of the legislature, we want to see them very busy. And even us, Bomakoko, will be there to support this event. Thank you very much.
Honorable Morgan.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to the House. I rise to deliver a member statement on behalf of the Democratic Alliance. On the 21st of April, Honorable MEC Majuba stated that to address the challenge of staffing at schools, the department has advertised 1,123 vacant promotional educator posts in November 2021. Of these posts, 267 were principals, 219 were deputy principals, 637 were departmental head posts. So far, there were a total of 895 filled posts, 33 en route for approval, 140 withdrawn, and 55 outstanding. In March 2023, the department further advertised office-based educator posts with 3 chief education specialists, 31 deputy chief education specialists, and a senior education specialist. Honorable Speaker, as one can see, these appointments are just a drop in the ocean as compared to what the needs are on the ground. A moratorium has plagued this province for several years now, forcing schools to run on skeleton staff or employ temporary teachers, which the SGBs are forced to pay. Honorable Speaker, this has resulted in the provincial government placing the burden on the poor SGBs to appoint and pay the much-needed teachers. Schools like Mokopanong Primary School in Siabuswa Circuit at Dr. J.S. Maroka municipalities are told that they must hire temporary teachers who must be paid by the SGB to replace teachers who have retired. The DA would like to know from the Honorable MEC, when will this ever come to an end? Is the department planning to employ the much-needed teachers that schools need? Because ultimately, it is the learners who suffer the most. I thank you.
Honorable Majuba.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me appreciate the statement from the honorable member. Well, it is true that we had a moratorium in the province for quite some time. And that was because of the financial constraints that we had and which we still have even now. That we all know about the economic challenges that we have globally and also in the country, which led to budget cuts that we had and we also have now. Despite that, we are managing still to advertise a lot of posts, as the member has alluded to, and the issue of moratorium is now no longer there in the department. That is why we have opened the space for recruitment. I hope and believe that, honorable member, you're still going to see a lot of other advertisements, and we are going to make sure that we staff the department accordingly. Thank you.
Honorable Malachi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and greetings to the House. Honorable Speaker, following the Matric 2022 cheating scandal allegation in Bohlabela district, whereby 20 schools were implicated, the Minister of Basic Education, Nzimu Tshega, has cleared these schools of any wrongdoing. Umalusi has also approved the result, meaning that there were no irregularities committed by the learners. However, Honorable Speaker, these learners from the school who were suspected of cheating are still in the dark without their result because of some reasons. The Department of Education in Mpumalanga cannot release them. It is for this reason that the economic freedom fighters in Mpumalanga is calling on Mpumalanga Department of Education to release all withheld 2022 matric result for these learners within the Bohlabela district. The affected learners are kept in the dark and their futures hanging because they cannot even apply to tertiary institution and employment opportunities passed by them because they don't have matric certificate. Information at our disposal indicate that several schools in Bohlabela district that were allegedly involved in the charges but now been cleared were handed a judgment notice that the learners or candidate will have to wait until November 2024 to receive their result. We view this as nothing but an injustice to the learners. We are therefore calling upon the Department of Education to release the result in order for the learners to start planning for their lives now. I thank you.
Honorable Machuba.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let's appreciate the statement from the Honorable Member. Well, it is true that the Department of Basic Education in the country has got some rules to deal with the issue of cheating by students during examinations. Ordinarily, if a student is found cheating, the Department of Basic Education suspends that students for 3 years not to write examinations. That's according to the rules in the department. In this case, we had to persuade leaders at basic education that we needed to have some kind of mercy, and we said that at least if they could be suspended for 1 year. Hence, they are talking of 2024. For those who are found guilty, they are going to be given an opportunity to write in 2024. But for those who were cleared, my information is that all of them, they managed to get their results. And if there are those who didn't get their results, I would like to get an information so as I can follow up on that so as we can be able to assist them. It is something that is not good for students, learners to decide to cheat during examinations. And something definitely has to be done. Otherwise, we are going to become a banana republic. And something has to be done so as to have integrity of the examinations of South Africa. If South Africa practices a laissez-faire approach, that is going to let even those who qualify from South Africa not to be recognized internationally. And therefore, that kind of statement by honorable member is quite correct, that fairness must happen. Those who are cleared should be able to get their results. Thanks, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Ngomane.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The ANC would like to commend the provincial government quest to attract investment to the province. The provincial government hosted a 2-day roadshow with BRICS member states. The roadshow started in Graskop, Tabachou local municipality, where the provincial government showcased trade and investment opportunities in various sectors such as energy, tourism, agriculture, forestry, mining, and infrastructure development. Honorable Speaker, while the BRICS member states expressed commitment to explore the trade investment opportunities with a view to expand their investment into the Mpumalanga economy, India's posture to send a delegation of business council to the province suggested an accelerated pace in which the country is willing to invest. Such an investment will definitely create more jobs and exposure to our people. It will also substantially boost the Mpumalanga economy. Indeed, as the ANC, we pride ourselves with the work of this provincial government through the stewardship of Honorable Premier. I thank you.
Honorable Tope.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Let me welcome the statement by Honorable Ngomane. Indeed, we did host the BRICS Roadshow, and it is indeed in the Mpumalanga government that we want to see the economy of this province growing, and will do whatever that we can do and to market our province. And we also want to promote, as we indicated in the budget, that the Mpumalanga is the province of the tourism destiny, so we must promote it as much as we can. We welcome and acknowledge that we are appreciated by members on the work that we are doing. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Executive statements. I am informed that there are no executive statements. Motions without notice. Are there any motions without notice? Honorable Shongwe.
Ngiyabonga Somlomo. I rise to move a motion without notice on behalf of the African National Congress for this House to thank and appreciate all members of the legislature and the management of the legislature and the entire staff, leadership, the Speaker, the Chief Whip, the Deputy Speaker, the Deputy Chair of Chairs, for what they have done in the preparation of the funeral of our late comrade, Maxwell Peggy Lubis. It was great to see most of the honorable members in numbers. As I've mentioned, that there were MECs, the Speaker was there, and even members of Parliament who came to bury our beloved comrade. Not that alone, even in the administration, we've seen HODs attending. Just to mention a few, HOD Chunda. Honorable Lubisi was a young, energetic, vibrant, and dynamic towards the fulfillment of the constitutional mandate as members to serve with distinction, as he served in all the committees as a chairperson and a member in some committees. It is on that note, Honorable Speaker, that the African National Congress in this House will want to recommit ourselves in making sure that we keep his legacy. We will continue to work hard as he did for the betterment of our people. And as we prepare for the national and provincial elections, we want to commit that we won't fail him. We will make sure that we work hard and the ruling party wins the elections.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion agreed to. So agreed. Are there any motions without notice? Honorable Javier Morgan.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise on behalf of the Democratic Alliance to deliver a motion without notice. Noting that the current load shedding, together with load reduction in many municipalities, is threatening the residents' rights of access to water. Further noting, for the past 5 months now, and counting, the residents of White River did not have a stable water supply, and in addition to this, some areas did not have a drop of water since we ended 2022. I refer to you, Honorable Speaker, to a street called Peter Graham Street in White River, TPA houses in White River, as well as Bushbuck Ridge municipalities, which did not have water for over 71 days to date. Noting further, the residents of Mkondo and Victor Kanye are in the same boat, as well as prolonged load shedding makes it impossible to pump water from extraction points through to the reservoirs. I therefore move that this House adopts that the provincial government installs backup systems to at least assist the residents of Mpumalanga to at least have a continuous water supply, and to mitigate the impact of load shedding on our water supplies in the province and to ensure that it is implemented. I thank you.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion agreed to. So agreed. Are there any motions without notice? Honorable Nyembe.
Ngibingelele ngaphakathi komkhandlu. Honorable Speaker, I rise on behalf of the EFF to applaud Thokozani Nhlapo, born and bred at Dr. Pixlika Isaka Seme, for being part of the upcoming series Ushaga Ilembe, dropping on the 18th of June 2023. He is a former makeup artist on Uzalo and Iskim Sam, and now he's been given a chance to act. May we have more people like Thokozane, and we hope the government can come to support such. I so move. Honorable Speaker, thank you.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion agreed to. So agreed. Honorable Shope.
Thokoza Somlomo, I rise to move a motion without notice on behalf of the ANC to express its appreciation to the Department of Agriculture for the program they run in the ensuring that our people are part of the mainstream economy. The preparation for the first sunflower harvest are at an advanced stage by the members of the Asilime Agricultural Cooperative in Kachibane, Dr. J.S. Moroka Municipality. This collaborative work is done by the local community members and farmers, the Department of Agriculture and the Nzunza Pungucha Tribal Office. Noting that, Honorable Speaker, the department provided this cooperative with production inputs, implements, training, and advisory service with guaranteed continuous cooperative support. Further noting that the dedicated co-funders of Asilime cooperatives acknowledge and appreciate the leadership of Ikosi Mahlangu and Makhosi of Nzunza Pungucha, who supported them from the time they pitched their vision about the project that has also benefited some locals with seasonal jobs. Indeed, agriculture is one of the province's economic drivers, and it is against this background that the ANC moved this August House appreciates the good work done by the Department of Agriculture and the Nzunza Pungucha Tribal Office. I so move.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to? So agreed. Notices of motion. Are there notices of motion? Formal motions. I am informed that there are no formal motions. Orders of the day. The Secretary shall read the first order of the day.
Order number 1, message of condolences on the passing of the late Honorable B.M. Lubisi.
I will allow the Honorable F.V. Mlombo from the ANC. You are given 4 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, let me take this opportunity to greet you, to greet the Honorable Deputy Speaker, the Chair of Chairs, the members of the Executive Council, the members of the Provincial Legislature, our guests, and everyone who is in this House. Honorable Speaker, we meet exactly 3 weeks after the untimely passing of Honorable B. Lubisi to pay our last tribute to him. We will remember him as the leader of the people of Mpumalanga. We will remember him as the servant of the people who devoted his entire life to serving the people of Mpumalanga and changing their lives to be better. We will remember him as a revolutionary who fought for the cause of this freedom, who participated and made a sincere contribution towards the attainment of the freedom that we are enjoying today. Honorable Lubisi loved his country. He loved the people of Mpumalanga. He was a real and true patriot. He is known within the structures of his organization, which is the African National Congress, as a peacemaker. He fought for unity and he strived for unity. In his honor, Honorable Speaker, let us build a strong and caring legislature. Let us improve service delivery to the people of Mpumalanga. Let us take care of the most vulnerable in our society. Let us defend this democracy and ensure that those who will come after us,
they enjoy the fruits of this democracy. We want, as the African National Congress, to take this opportunity to again bow and pay our last respect to a young revolutionary who passed on in his youth days, to a young patriot who was devoted to the service of this country. May his revolutionary soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you.
Honorable NP Mkabela from the EFF, we are given 3 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The recent untimely death of Honorable Begitemba Maxwell Lubisi has left not only his family devastated, but also his colleagues here at the provincial legislature are sad. Our hearts are still heavy and our minds asking questions that no one but the Almighty can answer. Honorable Lubisi's death did not only rob the ANC of a good and decent comrade, but has left the entire House deeply affected. Honorable Speaker, we all loved Honorable Lubisi because he was always jolly and saw us as equals, not as members from the opposition. He maintained high level of respect towards all of us. I can write an entire chapter about Honorable Lubisi's file. And speaking of books, Honorable Speaker, I wish this provincial government and the legislature would one day consider documenting and preserving the legacies of fellow members such as Honorable Lubisi, so that the next generation would know about our history and legends such as Honorable Lubisi. Honorable Lubisi was one of the young members of this House and was vibrant and smart. And because of this, he was elected the chairperson of the Select Committee on Public Participation and Petitions, and later elected the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Agriculture, Rural Development, Land Administration, and Environmental Affairs. He loved people and was one of the few politicians who understood that in this House we are all equal and no longer just representing our different political organizations, but representing our people out there. Honorable Lubisi's life reminds us to work tirelessly, embrace diversity, and appreciate every opportunity presented, mindful of the fact that tomorrow is not guaranteed and time is of the essence. Honorable Lubisi's death has also reminded us of all that life can be too short, and therefore, as politicians and lawmakers, it is our duty that we strive and work hard every day to change our people's lives. Honorable Speaker, we have seen many politicians in positions of powers, especially from the benches across, becoming arrogant and too big for the people that voted for them to be where they are today. Honorable Lubisi's sudden passing reminds us that we need to be good by our people, keeping in mind that political power eventually comes to an end, and one day you will need the very people you are turning your backs on today. Let Honorable Lubisi's death be not in vain, but a constant reminder to serve and change people's lives. I can only hope that all of us can learn from Honorable Lubisi's life. Allow me, as I sit down, Honorable Speaker, to convey our heartfelt condolences to his family, friends, and colleagues. Xikwembu xi hinyikile, Xikwembu xi tekile. It is only God that knows why. To his family, we want to thank you for sharing him with us, and we pray that we pray and keep the faith that there will be some light at the end of the tunnel. May his soul rest in peace.
Honorable Javier Morgan from the Democratic Alliance, you are given 3 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and greeting once again to the House. Speaker, it's with great sadness that I stand here this morning to speak about a great young man. Honorable Lubisi was a man that could make you smile even on the darkest days. Honorable Speaker, this young man was so intelligent that it's sad to know that so much intelligence has left us. But Honorable Speaker, life goes on. One thing we've learned is that with every shift, there's a new beginning. Honorable Speaker, I always say that God also wants good people up there and intelligent people. He doesn't only want old crocs. So, Honorable Speaker, with the faith that we have, we believe that one day we will meet again in heaven and we will have committees up there. Honorable Speaker, as a legislature, we have lost. Not only his family has lost, but we have lost as well. One thing I've learned from Honorable Lubisi is the commitment that he had to his work. In all the committees that he served in, I was with him, and he committed himself fully to the work that he was doing. He made sure that the committee sit and that there is a quorum formed. For that, I will always appreciate him. And as from the opposition side, he made us feel like a team. He never made us feel that we are opposition. So it's very important when somebody as young as this teaches us old people to know what the right position is. Honorable Speaker, it's with great sadness that I have to say to his family, they must take it with great peace and accept that he was a great man. God has borrowed them for a while, but God has taken him now where he needs him most. What is left behind is a legacy that we all take with us to our graves one day. And for all of us that are left behind, I hope this is a lesson that we will learn, that when we are together, let us be a team and let us work with honor so that we can be remembered for the legacies we leave behind. I thank you.
That concludes the messages of condolences. Thank you. The Secretary shall read the second order of the day.
Order number 2, snap debate on Workers' Day.
I have a speaker's list in front of me. I will now call upon Honorable Lakshmi Narain from the ANC, and you are given 4 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I am indeed grateful for this opportunity to take part in this important debate on Workers' Day. My speech will not be complete if I did not pay tribute to Moses Kochani, Joe Slovo, J.B. Mask, Chris Hani, and many other leaders of the SACP and COSATU. These stalwarts played an important part in uniting the trade union movement. President Cyril Ramaphosa, in addressing the nation on Workers' Day, re-emphasized this importance of trade unions and alliance partners when he said, and I quote, "Much as Workers' Day is taking place today during difficult times for our country, we want to say that yes, issues such as poverty, unemployment, and inequality are challenges that can only be effectively addressed if we are, as an alliance, working together." Close quote. I also stand here today, Madam Speaker, knowing that many young people like me face hardships that we need not forget. It remains a concern that we celebrate May Day. We remember the reality of the growing number of young men and women who have never entered the workspace. SAFTU General Zwelinzima Vavi highlighted statistics indicating that 42% of the overall society are unemployed. 50% of Black people are unemployed. This includes up to 51% of Black women in unemployment. 70% of these are aged between 15 and 24 years old. We must remember that these young people, who despite their qualifications have never entered the job market. Therefore, Madam Speaker, we welcome the many projects that are part of the process of job creation, but wish to re-emphasize the need for young people to be given the space in strategic permanent positions in government and not limited to programs such as EPWP. Mpumalanga is the home to the mining industry, an industry which is very technical, carrying high risk and having to go to record-breaking depths in the earth's crust to extract mineral wealth. We cannot allow the safety of mine workers to be compromised. About 100 years ago, Saul Plakis, the first Secretary General of the ANC, described the lives of mine employees as follows, and I quote, 200,000 subterranean heroes who day by day and night, for a mere pittance, lay down their limbs and their lives to the familiar fall of rock, and who are at the deep levels ranging from 1,000 feet to 1,000 yards in the bowels of the earth, sacrifice their lungs to rock dust, which develops miners' pneumonia. An improvement can, however, be seen where indicators show that South African mines record 49 fatalities in 2022, a record low, which is a 37% improvement on the 74 deaths in 2021. Let us also not forget the flight of farm workers and domestic workers who are often threatened with eviction when they demand to be paid the national minimum wage, or doctors who are working 48-hour shifts, prison wardens who are attacked by gangs in overcrowded prisons, and cleaners and security guards who are paid little more than a slave wage. This is what was stated by COSATU President Zingiswa Lasi. In conclusion, Madam Speaker, I would like to remind the House of the words of Comrade Karl Marx, who said that workers must remain relevant, and call for unity of workers all over the world in order to engage and ultimately defeat the inhumane
Round up, honourable member.
The inhumane system of capitalism, which is driven by profit and profit alone, nothing else. I conclude by quoting Karl Marx's call for unity. Workers of the world, unite. You have nothing to lose but your chains. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honourable Malachi from the EFF, you are given 4 minutes.
Rekitje sebaka se Honorable Speaker ke go dumediše ke boe ke dumediše ntlo ka moka. Madam Speaker, allow us to start by greeting the Economic Freedom Fighters, the Economic Freedom Fighter President and Commander-in-Chief Julius Sello Malema, members of the Central Command Team, Provincial Command Team, fighters, and all workers. It will be 11 years this year since the massacre of the mine workers in Marikana who were killed by government that was protecting a London mine company. We remind this House of this important event because it was the event that sharply reminded all of us that the private sector will always put profit before workers and workers' lives. That is the reason why we must never get tired of calling all workers of the world to unite, because they have nothing to lose but chains of exploitation. Honorable members, yesterday we acknowledged and honored workers. We honor them as a token of appreciation, a sign that we recognize their struggles, challenges, and difficulties. We do not celebrate Workers' Day because the national minimum wage is working, because workers have more rights, or because women and men receive the same remuneration in the workplace. We do not commemorate Workers' Day because workers do not have to travel long distance to work in a conducive environment, or because the world is moving closer to a more equal and classless society. These things just getting worse for workers. For many workers, these things are far much worse today than they were a decade ago. Speaker, here in Mpumalanga, a female doctor was hijacked at gunpoint and was nearly raped on her way to residential quarters after completing her shift at the Mpumalanga Hospital in Bushbuckridge. In the Mpumalanga Community Health Care Center, workers were robbed of their personal belongings at gunpoint. This happened in 2021, and no one has been arrested for this crime. This is because no one cares about the workers. Workers in Louisville Department of Social Development work under conditions that do not meet the Occupational Health and Safety Act. When we visited this facility, we were shocked when we saw unsafe electrical connection with live electrical wires hanging. Toilets are blocked, are leaking, doors are broken, and office without ceiling and air conditioning. Silent Sono, a colleague worked for 4 months without getting paid.
Round up, honourable member.
They were working at the Mpumalanga Plenary Village Construction Research, and they reached an agreement. These workers have been paid the same salary for the past 2 years. Nothing was done. About 2,000 current and former employees of SG Coal, a logistics service company based in Middelburg, Mpumalanga, have caused the company of unfair working conditions and dismissals. Among other things, the workers are forced to work unpaid overtime. Meanwhile, the department states in the quarterly performance report that it suspects security guards from the private company who were recently captured on video physically assaulting and harassing a Shongwe hospital patient who suffered from a mental illness. Honorable Speaker, however, we expect Celebrate Workers Union Workers' Day when workers are no longer seen valuable and human resource but utilized as a full overworked. In conclusion, Madam Speaker, we cannot truly celebrate the workers until workers are treated with the dignity and respect they deserve, with fair wages, safe working conditions, and equal opportunity for all. The EFF will continue to fight workers' rights and champion the cause of economic justice for all South Africans. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable JC Shongwe from the ANC, you are given 4 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me start by saying freedom will be in front of you. You'll start seeing it and you'll start feeling it in your heart, and it will go through your brains and you'll see things that are happening around you. But if you deny to see what is happening and the technicality that is happening in your body, then it's your problem. We receive with great humility the opportunity to participate with the Workers' Day debate today, and we're very happy that we're going to clarify issues here. We rise to this debate with our heads held high because of the progress that we have made to better the lives of the workers. In the infancy of the democracy, the ANC, appreciating the role of the workers, place them at the center of the policy making in NADLEC. Workers' voice and influence continue to be deepened in the machinery and ecosystem of the governance. Workers have used their seat in the NADLEC to advance the agenda of a better life for all. Workers have ensured that our country not only think deep, but implement a basic income grant to foster the agenda of a better life for all. We ascend this podium of discourse proud of our legislative framework that workers continue to use to better their working conditions. Workers continue to the basic condition of Employment Act to ensure that slavery is abolished in the workplace. Our workers continue to use this legislation to protect the rights and privilege afforded to women, particularly in ensuring that women earn like their partner in the spirit of equal work, equal pay. We indeed have a reason to celebrate because our workers continue to use the legislative framework we have established, such as the Labor Relations Act, to ensure that labor peace is sustained and workers have a platform to discuss matters of common interest with their employers. The dawn of the democracy legislative framework granted workers an opportunity to shape policy directions and ensure workers participate in all areas of the organizations they work for. The African National Congress remains proud of the advances we have made to promote labor freedom, labor peace, labor participation in key organizational decisions. Our pride is also influenced by the fact that since the slowdown of the lockdown restrictions, our economy remains on the rise. Our employment figures are demonstrating in improving as we were able to lower unemployment by 1% in the third quarter, 2023, 2022, and 2023. We are proud that the gap between salaries of men and women continue to be narrowed. We are proud of our decision to implement equity as we continue to witness a growing trend of women employment in our departments as a provincial, as Mpumalanga government. We've seen that we've got our Honorable Premier as a female, we've got our HODs, we've got lots of women in power, Honorable MEC, Speaker. And I must say, Speaker, that women need to take this opportunity, grab this opportunity at workplace to support each other, so that we see the cause of women leading in these positions. Thank you very much.
I will call upon Honorable Javier Morgan from the Democratic Alliance, and you are given 3 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Workers' Day serves as a celebration of workers' rights and a reminder of the critical role played by trade unions and other labor organizations in our fight against unjust labor practices. As a predominant feature of early history, let us reminisce of the workers in our country who, prior to our democracy, experienced extreme forms of exploitation and minimal rights. As we have celebrated Workers' Day in the province, let us be mindful of the journey which we have traveled as a country, of our strides made in securing basic rights for workers, and of the battles which we have yet to face. Post-apartheid, we can be grateful that all relations and expectations between the employer and the employee are set out and governed by the Labour Relations Act and the Basic Conditions of Employment Act, which seeks to protect vulnerable workers. However, despite the above, I do believe that there are workers who are being exploited till today. These are our farm workers, domestic workers, and most especially our own government EPWP workers. The South African government determines the wage of the above mentioned categories of workers by the national minimum wage. In 2023, the national minimum wage for farm workers and domestic employees was adjusted to 25 Rand and 42 cents per hour, whereas the wage of EPWP workers was adjusted to 13 Rand 97 cents per hour. Honorable Speaker, what is the purpose of a national minimum wage when our own government creates the notion that not all workers are equal? Secondly, why can we not pay EPWP workers an equal national minimum wage? Because the work which is performed is labor intensive. Honorable Speaker, in concluding, I believe that although we have made some great strides as a country in securing workers' rights, we have lost sight of our struggle of equality in the workplace. For equal opportunities, and in hindsight, corruption and nepotism practices have gained a stronghold. I firmly believe that not all employees in our country are given equal protection afforded by the Labour Relations Act and the Basic Condition of Employment Act and the National Minimum Wage. And I call on this House to look into this. Lastly, let us create equality in the payments of our national minimum wage. I thank you.
I will now call upon Honorable T.S. Tomo from the ANC, and you are given 4 minutes.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Protocol has been observed on my behalf. Let me take this opportunity and make my own preamble, Honorable Speaker, by greeting the real Chief of Staff, the real Commander-in-Chief, the Honorable President Cyril Ramaphosa, not some dodgy and bogus characters. Honorable Speaker, allow me to greet this august House by recognizing the strides made by the government of the African National Congress in transforming the conditions of workers since the democratic breakthrough. The fact that South Africa decided to join the International Labour Organization as early as 1994 has immensely developed a perspective that government of the African National Congress has a vision to help our country to transform a number of legislative pieces that are today adopted and promulgated into laws. The mere fact that South Africa adopted a tripartite negotiation forum known as NETLEC, where employment-related matters are discussed, is a sign that this country has a long-standing position regarding transformation of workers' conditions across all sectors accountable for employment relations. We can all attest, Madam Speaker, in this House that many legislations that govern the employment conditions were highly relaxed and reconfigured by the government of the ANC, which is the progressive government, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it will be an exercise of irresponsibility for me should I not recognize the workers' historic mission to celebrate May Day, which today is associated with the workers across the length and breadth of our country, South Africa, as Workers' Day. We celebrate this day noting the contributions made by the entire workers' population in South Africa who outrightly rejected the oppression and apartheid unjust system by fighting for the total liberation of workers in South Africa. It is within this period, Madam Speaker, of 29 years of unbroken record wherein workers in South Africa should still be yearning to have all sectors of the economy being fully transformed. It is very imperative to note that the battle for workers' economic emancipation cannot be separated from the entire national liberation struggle. Workers plays a very integral role in the entire liberation of the people. In admiring this contribution, Madam Speaker, made by the workers to the liberation of our country, we must never allow our minds to forget Msizi Dube, Joe Gabi, and many other gallant revolutionaries who died in the hands of the police before the advent of democracy for their standing contribution to the liberation of the people and the working class in particular. The advent of democracy, Madam Speaker, in 1994 not only meant one person, one vote, but it also saw the introduction of a Bill of Rights that provides the redress, guarantees basic human rights, including civil, political, socio, economic, and environmental rights. We have seen workers beginning to have the rights to organize, freedom of movement, freedom of expression, rights to peaceful demonstration as a sign to demonstrate their dissatisfaction in their affairs with the employers. This displayed the commitment by the government of the African National Congress to build a unitary, reliable, and coherent society free from greed, exploitation of men by another, as well as building a prospective society. Madam Speaker, in conclusion, allow me to, as we currently celebrate the Workers' Day, we owe it to the prudent struggle led by Nehau, Pope, Krusatau, and many other progressive trade unions that are affiliated with the ANC that continues to prioritize the interest of workers all the times in their endeavors. In conclusion, Madam Speaker, we all understand the devastating moment and downturn caused by COVID-19 to disturb the growth of our economy by putting several activities of government in the limbo. The firm belief we should all have in this House is that everyone has a role to play in transforming South Africa, regardless of our political affiliation. South Africa, Madam Speaker, belongs to all who live in it. I thank you.
That concludes the snap debate on Workers' Day. The Secretary shall read the third order of the day.
Order number 3, questions for oral reply to the members of the Executive Council.
I have a question paper in front of me with questions for oral reply to members of the Executive Council, known as MECs. I am informed that the question paper was duly circulated to all members of the legislature. Let me remind you, honorable members, in terms of our rules. Rule 104, the heading is times allotted. Rule 104.4, the reply to a question is limited to 15 minutes. And Rule 104, subsection 5, states that in accordance with sub-rule 4, above, members of the Executive Council may not use more than 10 minutes for reply, thus allowing members to do follow-ups for 5 minutes. The first question is from Honorable MC Sidibe from the EFF to ask the MEC for Education. I have received an apology from Honorable Sidibe, and Honorable Malachi will stand in for Honorable Sidibe. I will allow the Honorable MEC Majuba to respond to the questions.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The question from Honorable Sidibe from EFF to ask the MEC for education. The department has a huge database of unemployed educators graduates, while schools in the province, especially those located in rural communities, are understaffed. This results in one teacher having to be responsible for more grades, and this has serious implications on the quality of education offered. Question 1, what strategy is being pursued by the department to ensure that it recruit more educators? The answer: the supply of teachers to schools is regulated through the post-provisioning norms, which determine the number of teachers to be supplied in relation to the number of learners in a school. In instances where schools have substantive vacant funded posts, the department deploys educators to these schools in priority order as agreed at the Education Labor Relations Council, where educators deemed to be in access to the school's establishment are prioritized for placement in these posts. These will be followed by bursary holders, new entrants into the profession, and lastly, any educator who is returning to the service. The department is currently not experiencing a shortage of educators, as it annually awards bursaries to matriculants to pursue studies to become teachers in identified priority subjects. The department can attest that there is more supply of educators from both bursars graduates and self-funded graduates. The appointments that were made this academic year were in the combination of bursars and self-funded graduates. Why is the department prioritizing graduates that were funded by Funza Lushaka and other bursaries, leaving out graduates that were NSFAS beneficiaries or non-bursary holders? Response: Funza Lushaka is a national sector initiative intended to train educators in critical areas of need and deploying these to rural areas. Students recruited through this program come from rural areas and are obligated to render their services in these areas, which in the majority of cases are battling to recruit to retain teachers. The biggest challenge that the department is currently facing is the high turnover in all categories of educators employed in these rural communities. Immediately after their appointment, they will seek a transfer to other schools that are located in urban areas. As a result, most of our schools in rural areas will keep on replacing the transferred educators, which affects the quality of teaching in these schools. As such, through the bursary scheme, the department is able to enter into a contractual obligation with the bursary holders funded through Funza Lushaka, public service, staff development, and skills development bursaries, even before they start with their studies. This, however, does not exclude the appointment of NSFAS and self-funded graduates in vacant posts available. The department has established a register of unemployed educator graduates for the purpose of ensuring that self-funded and NSFAS graduates are equally considered together with the bursary holders for appointment. in terms of Rule 102 of the standing orders, with regards to the Department of Education providing textbooks, no, thanks, Honorable Speaker. I think I've reached the finality of my responses on this question.
Honorable Malachi, do you have a follow-up question?
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. I have no follow-up question.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Thank you, Honorable MEC. The next question is from Honorable Lakshmi Narain from the ANC to ask the MEC for cooperative governance and traditional affairs. Over to you, Honorable MEC.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. The question is from Honorable M. Lakshmi Narayan, asked to ask MC Kokta on proper planning requires a consideration of population growth, migration, and establishment of new settlements, to mention but a few. The Kanyamazan water treatment plant was meant to service the people of Kanyamazan and surroundings when it was built in the 1970s. Research has learned that it is servicing areas of Pinar, the residential areas right up to Gapoweni and surroundings, which do not have its own water treatment. The question is, in terms of the above, is the MEC aware that Kanyamazana water treatment plant is under severe pressure where the demand for water has increased the supply and the capacity of water? Honorable Speaker, the response is we are aware of the capacity challenge regarding the Kanyamazana water treatment works, which is overcommitted. However, the plans are in place to complete the Karno bulk water scheme, which is currently under construction. Once the scheme is completed, the scheme will release the stress of Kanyamazana water treatment works by providing an additional 20 milliliter per day infrastructure capacity on water as dedicated supply to the Gapowen area. The second question is, can the MEC indicate when last were major upgrades done on the Kanyamazana water treatment plant? The response is, due to the limited space and the current approved water rights, the Kanyamazana water treatment plant could not be upgraded. However, the new Karana water scheme was investigated and deemed to be the best option to increase water supply. The project is currently on its second phase of completion that entails the construction of bulk pipeline from Emoyen to Gapowen to maintain consistency of water supply. Furthermore, the Kanyamazana water treatment plant is being refurbished at a cost of 22 million in order to improve its efficiency in its operation of water supply to communities. The third question is the MEC aware that some areas, especially around Kanyamazana on Togozweni and Gapowen, can be without water for a prolonged period? Yes, we are aware, Honorable Speaker, of this challenge. The challenge is also attributed to the current ESCOM load shedding due to the extended downtime and limitation of supply versus demand, which makes the situation worse in Ntogozweni and Gapowen. The fourth question is, can the MEC shed some light why Gapowen does not have its own water plant, whereas it is vast? The response is, the Gapowen area is connected to the water direct to the Kanyamazana water treatment plant. This area currently has no raw water source. The nearest raw water source is the Crocodile River, where the Kanyamazana water treatment works is situated. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable MEC, can you please take your seat? Honorable Lakshmi Narain, do you have a follow-up question?
No, Honorable Speaker. I think the MEC has responded well.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Thank you very much, Honorable MEC. The next question is from Honorable Evim Lombo from the ANC to ask the MEC for Agriculture, Rural Development and Land and Environmental Affairs. Over to you, Honorable MEC.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Let me greet you, my colleagues, MECs, as well as honorable members. The question is from Honorable VP Mlombo from the ANC. It's as follows. One of our key economic drivers as a province is agriculture. The Fortune 40 program is one amongst a number of programs within the department. The fact that it has been running for a period of 5 years is much appreciated, and we note that it now producing commercial farmers. In terms of the Fortune 40 program, can the MEC share with the House on some of its success stories? The response is as follows. As the mandated department by the provincial government to implement Fortune 40 program, the department reports the following achievements. Since its inception in 2015, the program has developed 24 farms or projects across the province, which are practicing livestock production, vegetables, piggery, aquaculture, poultry, macadamia, and mechanization. Currently, 185 are under incubation since 2020 to September 2023. It is a 3-year program. The program has also benefited 470 young farmers, of which 280 are females and 190 are males, coming from rural municipalities of our 4 districts, the Hartsibande, Kangala, Ihlanzeni, and Buhlabela in the province. The program produced learners from the first and current intake who are currently standing at their own as sustainable farmers. That is Mr. Kagiso Mohlala from Mashishing Fortune 40 Farm producing potatoes. Ms. Tandegile Mavuso, who graduated from Barberton Environmental Center Fortune 40 project, currently producing chicken layers, broilers, and vegetable production. 2 learners from the current intake from Tahakral Fortune 40 project, Sibonelo Pigari at Dr. Pixelga Isakaseme, running a successful 20-saw unit supplying to Emelo Abato. Ms. Cynthia Manyeke from Alindei Fortune 40 in Buhlabela district is farming and producing vegetables on a 1-hectare land belonging to her family, supplying local retailers in Tolamahashi and local municipality. The department, through its comprehensive agricultural support program, CASP in short, supported among others 2 graduated learners, Ms. Rachel Lubisi and Ms. Aniki Malachi from Zutnok Fortune 40 project with funding for infrastructure at a tune of 3.9 million, such as fencing of a 2.5-hectare land, electrical transformer, and reservoir with irrigation system. Many of the graduated learners are supported through Pesgom Konomlimi with mechanization and production input. It is also worth mentioning that the department revised the Fortune 40 strategy, awaiting Cabinet's approval. The strategy will assist to improve shortfalls encountered during the implementation since inception of the program. Furthermore, the review introduced areas of strategic advancement that will expedite the realization of the program's vision, goals, and related objectives. Henceforth, the Fortune 40 strategy presents comprehensive and integrated objectives, clear vision, and mission of the program. The focus will mainly be on the following pillars: governance and management, land, farm infrastructure development, and scale-up production, skills development, business development, ownership model, recruitment, and exit plans. Roman figure 2, can the MEC share some light to the House on what support is provided by the department to ensure the success of the program? The response, the department through Fortune 40 program provides support in 3 components, which are production, training, and business development. On production component, the department secure the land or farms to implement the program, providing farm infrastructure, implements, production input, security, personnel, ensuring accommodation, farm maintenance and advisory services. On training component, the provision of training which is accredited and non-accredited through Program 7, Agricultural Education and Training, the learners are also, through this program, practically exposed to farming activities. The composition of production and training is 30% theory and 70% practical. Both theory and practical sessions are conducted within the project. The department further ensures that learners do complete the training, acquired the required skills and knowledge. On business development component, the department ensures that a commercialization of projects in that entities production is value added, that their production reaches market and the viability and sustainability of business entities. Value adding is done at project level by learners and entity is established before production ownership transfer. Marketing linkages are done by the department for the learners. These include, amongst others, hawkers, vendors, and retailers, and assist in signing take-off market agreement. The department is noting the challenges that were encountered previously on the recruitment processes and has adopted a clear recruitment criterion to allow all deserving and qualifying learners to participate. To this end, it is envisaged that independent young farmers will be invited to submit their application and be assessed based on their current agricultural activities to ensure that these learners do have a passion for agriculture. Furthermore, the professional graduates stand a good opportunity to be considered for the incubation as they have exhibited interest in the field by acquiring relevant certificate, diplomas, and degrees. Finally, the recruitment is open to any active economic seeking youthful individuals who has the potential to treat agriculture as potential long-term business. The department developed a selection criteria for the new intake incubates. This will take cognizance of the following. They must be South African citizens and from 18 to 35 years of age, should be able to read and write. A person with a disability will be encouraged to take part. Physical verification will be done during the shortlisting and interviews. The trainees must have passion, interest, and agricultural background. They must have grade 10 for understanding purposes. Recruitment should target land reform beneficiaries in terms of land tenants, CPAs, farm dwellers, and restitution. Access to land is prerequisite to access the program. All land reform farms and government institutions like clinic, schools should be considered as production land, minimum 1 hectare. Local consultative program with relevant local structures done by the department, e.g. House of Traditional and Khoisan Leadership and councillors, etc. Furthermore, the learners are supported with a monthly stipends of 2,000 per learner for 36 months. The department provides transportation of learners who are staying far from the project or training centers and catering services to learners residing in the farms. Roman figure 3, in terms of the farmers who are now in commercial farming, does the department provide a support or assistance so that they can be competitive in the market to sell their produce? The response: the department is assisting graduated farmers or learners with established trading entities, linking the project to lucrative markets, arranging logistics to supply their produce to market, and ensuring smooth transfer of produce from one owner to the other without challenges. Through department's agribusiness unit, these young farmers are supported to comply with the South African Good Agricultural Practice, SAGAP in short, which assist with food safety compliance and participate in formal markets drafting of bankable business plans to access funding from potential financial institutions, provision of economic advices and information services. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Mlombo, do you have a follow-up question?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and let's thank the Honorable MEC for the well-prepared response. Honorable Speaker, when we did the TLP at Tembisi Leani, we established that the serious problem with regards to emerging farmers is access to land. There is one young farmer there which we met and many others, but in particular this young female farmer whose name is Choki Mukwena. She is farming on cattle and vegetables, but she does not have land. There is a dispute, it would seem, between the department and her in terms of access to land. So the question which I would want to follow up with is what is it that the department is doing to assist small and emerging farmers with regards so that they are able to access land, they are able to sort of continue with their business? Is there a program of assisting these emerging farmers with regards to access to land? And lastly, there is, in one of the meetings, the portfolio committee meetings, we spoke about the availability of land in the Emakazeni municipality. And we raised so many times that the department would have to prepare that land for the small and emerging farmers. How far is that project? Thank you very much.
Honorable MEC.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Starting from the first question, Honorable Speaker, since the issue of land, it's not our competence, it's a national competency. However, we are working hand in glove with the Department of Land and Rural Development in terms of land. The advice that we are giving to potential farmers who are in need of land, we are saying that if there is land that they know of which the owner is selling that land, they can also come to the department and alert us so that we can be able to report that or to write a letter to the national department so that that person can be able to access that land. And also we are advising them that they can also make application to the national development so that they can be able to access land. On the second question, Honorable Speaker, I think taking legislature to the people was in March, of which maybe it's too early to know in terms of the progress, Chief Whip. If maybe you can also give me an opportunity to go back and check on the second question on the land that is at Belfast, because if I may answer now, I will not give you the specific answer. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Honorable Khrovemagan.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would like to know whether heavy rains and the flooding, was there any assistance given to these farmers? Thank you.
Honorable MEC.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. As we know that we are working also hand in glove with COGTA, which is the department that is leading in terms of issues of disaster. We have written to COGTA as well as to the national department to check in terms of the assistance that we can give to farmers. But up to so far, we haven't received any allocation that we can also be given to farmers to assist. Maybe, Honorable Speaker, if I can maybe alert or honorable members in terms of the study that we have done as the department, we have found that in most cases, some of the farmers, they were not affected most, because after the rain or the water were absorbed by the land, we find that most of them, their produce have picked up. So, but we're still monitoring that in terms of those farmers that are affected. But in terms of assistance with money and the like, we haven't done, because we're still waiting from the national also to assist us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC. The next question is from Honorable B. Grobler from the DA to ask the MEC for Finance, Economic Development and Tourism. And I have received an apology from Honorable Grobler. Honorable Morgan will stand in for Honorable Grobler. Honorable MEC, over to you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and the protocol has been observed already. The question that we received from Honorable Grobler, it reads as thus: Honorable MEC, with regards to the international fresh produce market, please indicate the following. 1. What buildings still need to be built for the international fresh produce market to be completed? The response, Honorable Speaker: the infrastructure project such as International Produce Market is a multi-year buildings which cannot be completed at once. Cannot be completed all at once. I can, however, provide the construction progress on each of the building in percentage, Honorable Speaker, at the fresh produce market site. Building 1 is at 74%, building 2 is at 63%, building 3 is at 55%, building 4 at 89%, building 5 at 61%, building 6 at 47%, building 7 at 88%, building 8 at 61%, building 9 at 92%, building 10 at 79%, building 11 at 87%, building 12 at 94%, building 13 at 80%, building 14 at 91%, building 15 at 94%, building 16 at 94%, and building 17 at 89%. Question number 2. Has the department appointed any contractors to do regular maintenance on the existing buildings? Honorable Speaker, the response is no, we did not. The department has not yet appointed any maintenance contractors, as the project has not yet reached the practical completion. The maintenance contractors can only come into effect at the end of the defect liability period, when the facility is completed and operational. Question number 3. Has the department done any building assessment or any systematic inspection done on the current buildings of the International Fresh Produce Market? If yes, can the MEC share the report on the state of the building structures and system? If no, why not? Our response, Honorable Speaker, is yes. The department performs regular buildings assessment and inspections through the professional team. The contractor also inspect the building in accordance with the approved quality control system, process control testing, which aims to raise quality control matters at an early stage. The test is meant to evaluate compliance and certification against contractual standard and specification. In cases where the contractor's process control test does not produce satisfactory results, the engineer would instruct that additional tests be conducted, what is known as acceptance control testing. And if there is completed work that fails processes control, inspection, and testing, rectifications are done and where necessary. The work that failed the test will be demolished and reconstructed at the contractor's expenses. Once work complies with the contractual standard, the specification, the engineer will sign off or accept the work. A comprehensive quality control file is also maintained at the site office, and currently the engineer's quality control system confirms that the work done is compliant and complies with the contractual standard and specification. Question number 4. How much does the department currently owe Enzo Construction for standing time, escalation, and interest on the late payment since the inception of the project? Our response is that, Honorable Speaker, the total amount currently owed to Enza Construction by the department is 332,022,549 rands and 43 cents, broken down as follows. For additional costs due to extension of time claims, 122,643,922 rand and 12 cents. For additional costs due to escalation is 206,889,791 rand and 65 cents. For default interest certificate to date is 2,489,835 rand and 66 cents. The total, as I indicated, is 332,023,549 rand and 43 cents. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Morgan, do you have a follow-up question?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'd like to thank the MEC for the response, for not lying, because if you look at the percentages that she's given, it shows that we're still 10 years away from completing this project, Honorable Speaker, but I thank her for the honest response. Thank you.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Thank you, Honorable MEC. The next question is from Honorable W.L. Weber from the Freedom Front Plus to ask the MEC for health. I have received an apology from Honorable Weber and we request the Honorable MEC to respond in writing. The next question is from Honorable N.P. Mkabela from the EFF to ask the MEC for community safety, security, and liaison. Honorable MEC, over to you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Let me greet you once more, and members of the executive, members of the legislature, the support staff, and all the participants in the sitting, including our hardworking HODs. The question which is asked by Honorable Mkhabela to the Department of Community Safety, Security, Liaison is as follows. There have been media reports that an 11-year-old child was allegedly shot by private security company in White River for no apparent reason. This is a second incident in a short space of time where white-owned security companies shoot at innocent black people. And the question is, what is the department doing to ensure that those responsible for shooting the child are arrested and face the full might of the law? And the response from the department is that first and foremost, we condemn the alleged spike of cases where private security services are involved in shooting of innocent people, irrespective of race. Their role is to supplement statutory power in ensuring that our communities are safe. Responding specifically to the White River incident, the suspect has been arrested as we are speaking, and an investigation are in the progress. And I must also add, Honorable Speaker, that we have followed up on this particular case. We have communicated with the parents of the kid, and we are making sure that there will be no stone left unattended to. Can the department regulate how private security companies must work and conduct themselves, not like they act like SAPS? Our response is the private security providers are regulated by the Private Security Industry Regulatory Authority, which is PRISA, CIRA, Act number 56 of 2001. All private security services are registered with the Private Security Industry Regulatory, which is an entity of SAPS, which is responsible for ensuring and monitoring that the industry complies with the set of regulation and ethics. Where there is a non-compliance to the set of rules, those companies are suspended with immediate effect, and the rights to provide services are taken away from them. And we also check from the system, and it's very easy to check from the system. Even yourself, Honorable Member, you can check whether that particular company is in line with CIRA. In cases of criminal acts committed by the service providers, criminal cases are preferred to the service providers or officers. And those security companies, if they act, they cannot arrest the person, and they cannot take law into their own hands. When they come across any person who is wrong, their responsibility and their role is to make sure that they take that particular person to the SAPS, because they don't stand any test of time in the court of law in the country. Thank you.
Honorable Mkhabela, do you have a follow-up question?
I don't have any follow-up question, Honorable Speaker. I'm well responded to. Thank you. Thank you, MEC.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Honorable Nyembe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, in February at Ambersford, the police didn't arrest Councillor Twala of Ward 7, who raised a gun and shot 2 bullets in the air with the community there. There was a community meeting when he took out that gun and shot in the air. And there were police people there. They didn't arrest that person. Even while the community went and opened the case, they didn't arrest him. What do we do with such police? Because they were in attendance of that community meeting. They saw that and they gave him an opportunity to go and exchange the gun and submit the gun that is having a license while he used another gun, which is defeating the justice, because now the 2 bullets that he shot on the air were from the other gun, and he submitted a gun that is having a license. And the police didn't take him on the scene. What do we do with those police? Thank you.
Honorable member, let me remind you about the rules. Rule number 100, sub-rule 1B. This is a new question, and no question for oral reply may be asked on the day on which notice therefore is given. Are there any follow-up questions from other honorable members? Thank you, Honorable MEC. The next question is from Honorable GC Shongwe from the ANC to ask the MEC for social development.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and greetings to the honorable members of the executive and also members of the legislature. The questions from Honorable GC Shongwe from the ANC to ask MEC Social Development. The Department of Social Development has demonstrated its commitment to providing shelter for the vulnerable members of our society, including the elderly, child-headed families, people living with disabilities, gender-based violence survivors, and vulnerable groups who have no means to provide for themselves. The first question is, with reference of the above, can the MEC elaborate on the total number of disabled persons who benefited from these projects? Our response as a department is that there are 621 persons with disability that are funded by the Department of Social Development in 8 residential facilities for persons with disabilities that are managed by the NPOs that are funded by ourselves. The second question, what plans are there in place to monitor the integration of persons with disability into work opportunities, as many departments and private sector organizations do not meet their targets for employing persons with disability? Our response is that the Office on the Status of Persons with Disability, based in the Office of the Premier, is responsible to monitor the integration. Mpumalanga Association for the Persons with Disability, which is a social welfare organization funded by the department, assists in linking persons with disability with private sector and Department of Labor for job opportunities so that they can be placed. Our third question is that what plans will the department undertake in monitoring the mobilization of all partners in order to deal with the social ills in our society, which impact the youth, as the department can make significant contribution in addressing the prevalence of social ills affecting the youth? Our response as the department is that the department offers a variety of youth mobilization activities which are aimed at keeping an ongoing dialogue amongst young people regarding social ills, development challenges, and opportunities. The department is conducting Youth Development Centers Learning Forum, in which various stakeholders and partners are invited to share and exchange knowledge with a strategic partnership with different role players and stakeholders. Each district will have 4 quarterly learning forums, and there will be 1 provincial learning forum. The department has entered into strategic partnership with the Department of Higher Education to pilot the Education for Employment project. The department also offers life skills education through workshops and camps. In the facilitation of the life skills, different partners are invited to directly participate in dealing with these challenges that are faced by our youth. The 4th question, what monitoring interventions is the department planning to initiate to support the fight against the scourge of sexual crimes in the province? Our response is that the Department of Social Development is offering a basket of services to victims and survivors of gender-based violence and femicide. Departmental social workers are attached to the victims and providing psychosocial and counseling to victims, also providing a quantum of care to families affected by the scourge, conduct awareness campaigns to ensure information dissemination to the communities, create accessibility to social work services in communities through the funding of shelters based in our local municipalities, provision of aftercare services to ensure that survivors are not stigmatized and suffer secondary victimization. I thank you.
Honorable Shongwe, do you have a follow-up question?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. No, I am covered. Thank you.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Honorable Khrovie Morgan.
Thank you, Chair, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I just want to find out from the MEC, to your knowledge, MEC, how many jobs does your department provide for those who are disabled?
Honorable MEC.
Thank you very much. What I know is that I cannot give an answer now, but we can forward it in writing. But we are one department that is advocating for the appointment of people living with the disability, because it is a regulated matter that we must comply as a department. But we'll forward that response, Honorable Speaker, in writing.
We must correct, it's people with disabilities, not people living with disabilities.
Let's be corrected as such, Honorable Speaker. Thank you for correction.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Thank you, Honorable MEC. The next question is from Honorable N. Mahlangu from the ANC to ask the MEC for Public Works, Roads and Transport. Honorable MEC, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Honorable Speaker, and greetings to yourself, the Deputy Speaker, Chief Whip, MECs, all our members of this important body. Greetings also to the opposition. Honorable N. Mahlangu, member of the ANC, asked the MEC for Public Works, Roads and Transport that Provincial Road D2945 from Zindi, Ntunda, Skwahlana, Madadeni, Sbange, Magudu, and Gobodzi have been in a worse state for approximately 10 years. The bad state of the road necessitates full-scale reconstruction, not maintenance. Furthermore, the bad state of gravel road D2945 from Magogeni crossing to Mgobodzi necessitate regraveling. Is the Honorable MEC aware of the horrible state of road D2945? Yes, of course, I am aware of the state of our road in the province. I know that 60% of our roads in the province are unsurfaced road and only 40% are surface road in the province. That is 60-40. Can the Honorable MEC commit as to when will the overhauling and reconstruction of Road D2945 take effect? Regraveling of Road D2945 will commence in the first quarter of the 2023-24 financial year. The department is currently finalizing detailed inspections, scoping and costing before works commence. How will the Honorable MEC ensure that a credible contractor with a traceable track record in road construction is appointed to avoid substandard work? The regraveling works on Road D2945 will be done using in-house resources. This will enable the department to do more at a reasonable cost and to promote internal capacity building. A few additional equipment may be outsourced when need arises to supplement the department plant and equipment. The departmental materials laboratory and chief engineers are forming part of the internal project team. In terms of the road maintenance policy, how often and frequent should gravel roads be maintained? In terms of technical recommendations for highway, gravel roads are recommended to be maintained at least once per quarter. How soon can we expect the regraveling of the road between Magogeni and Mgobozi? Enhlazeni district has a grading maintenance plan, and this road will be part of the routine maintenance plan. That is how I respond to the question raised by the Honorable Mahlangu. Thanks.
Honorable Mahlangu, do you have a follow-up question?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and thank you to the MEC for well response.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Honorable Khrivi Morgan.
Sabotage. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I just would like to ask the MEC, does he have any plans of upgrading this road to a tarred road? Thank you.
Honorable MEC.
No, thanks, Honorable Speaker. I have plans for all the 60% of our unsurfaced road in the province for us to convert them into surface road. But because of the budget that we have, that we cannot be able to do everything in one financial year, will not be able for this financial year to convert this gravel road into surface road. This one that the MEC, that I have been asked by the Honorable Member Mahlangu.
Are there follow-up questions? Thank you, Honorable MEC. The next question is from Honorable R.J. Sithole from the Democratic Alliance to ask the MEC for education, and I have received an apology from Honorable Sithole, and Honorable Morgan will stand in for her. Honorable MEC, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Greetings once more. Honorable R.J. Sithole to ask the MEC for education in terms of Rule 102 of the standing orders with regards to the Department of Education providing tablets to the grade 12 class of 2022 and 2023 in Mpumalanga schools, can the MEC indicate the following? 1. Of the 55,000 tablets that were purchased and distributed to the grade 12 learners of 2022, how many was retrieved by schools or the department to date? The response: in 2022, the department purchased a total of 63,009 tablets. Initially, 55,000 tablets were procured, and due to shortage experienced, a further 8,009 were purchased to be distributed to grade 12 learners in quintile 1 to 3 schools. A total of 55,909 of these tablets were successfully retrieved. This represents 89% of the total tablets issued to learners. Theft has been presented as the main reason for tablets not retrieved. The second question: has the department changed its policy regarding the provision of tablets to grade 12 learners? If so, can the MEC provide the new policy?
Honorable MEC, the questions which you are responding to are not the questions that were placed on the order paper. The first question was stating that how much has the department spent in providing textbooks and or tablets for the grade 12 class of 2023. And the second question is which schools in Mpumalanga are still waiting delivery for textbooks or tablets for the grade 12 classes. Please provide a detailed list of schools, including a number of learners. Honorable MEC, if you are not ready for this question, can I request you that you provide the response in writing? There are 4 questions in the order paper. Those ones which you are responding to are not the questions which you are supposed to respond to.
No, thanks, Honorable Speaker. Apology for that. I do take your request that will respond to them in writing.
Thank you, Honorable MEC. We'll await the responses in writing. The next question is from Honorable W.L. Weber from the DA to ask the MEC for Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs. We have received an apology from Honorable W.L. Weber and we request the MEC for Agriculture to respond in writing. Then the next question is from Honorable MC Sidibe from the EFF to ask the MEC for Public Works, Roads and Transport. And we have received an apology from Honorable Greve Morgan.
Speaker, just a correction. It says there Weber from the DA. Thank you.
You have adopted Honorable Weber. Thank you very much, Honorable Morgan, for that correction. The next question, the Honorable MEC for Public Works will respond, and Honorable Malachi will stand in for Sidibe.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable MC Sidibe of EFF to ask the MEC for Public Works, Road and Transport. The R536 road between Sabe and SAV collapsed on the 14th of February 2023 due to damages caused by heavy rainfall. It has been a month and a half since the bridge collapsed and nothing has been done by the department to fix it. Does the department have a budget for the upgrading of and a plan of action in place for the upgrading of the R536 road? The department has made budget provision in the 2023-2024 financial year for the fixing of the damage or the collapsed section of R536. The department intends to rehabilitate the R536 in 2 phases and has made budget provision for phase 1 in the 2023-24 financial year. Phase 1 is from, here's a view. Although the collapsed section falls within phase 2 of the project closer to Savi, amendments have been made to accommodate the collapsed section in scope of work for phase 1. This entailed a review of the tender scope and specification. The project is scheduled for advertisement in the second quarter of the 2023-24 financial year, and a contractor is expected on site on the third quarter of 2023-24. Due to the inconvenience caused by the collapsed section, the repair works for the section will prioritize so that the road can be fully functional before the start of the 2024-25 rainy season or during the early part of the season. In the interim, the department ensured that there are warning signs to avoid any accident on the collapsed road sections. What is taking the department so long to construct the collapsed road? As explained in the first question, the department has been working on a plan for the repair of the road. The inclusion of the collapsed road section in the scope of work for phase 1 for the rehabilitation of the R536 has required additional investigation and design to incorporate the collapsed section. This required amendment to the tender document and project specifications. Budget was therefore allocated for the 2023-24 financial year. Thanks.
Honorable Malachi, do you have a follow-up question?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. No, I'm covered.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Thank you, Honorable MEC. The next question is from Honorable GP Mashego from the ANC to ask the MEC for Social Development. Honorable MEC, over to you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to the House again. The question is from Honorable GP Mashego from the ANC to ask the MEC for Social Development. The right to citizenship is enshrined in the Bill of Rights of our Constitution. It is the responsibility of the state to ensure that such rights are equally protected and restored. In 2008, Makosi Henry was mistakenly declared a deceased person by the Department of Home Affairs. The first question, in the case of Mr. Makosi Mavuso, what steps will be taken by the department to ensure that his citizenship is restored? Our response, Honorable Speaker, it's limited to our own as a department because Home Affairs is a national department. So the responsibility to give or withdraw citizenships falls within the Department of Home Affairs. The Department of Social Development is, however, aware that the action taken by the Department of Home Affairs to declare Mr. Mavuso dead might have had a negative impact to his family. The department will therefore conduct home circumstances assessment and provide psychosocial support if necessary. Based on the outcomes, the assessment, the department will further refer Mr. Mavuso to the Department of Home Affairs for assistance. The second question, can Honorable MEC provide a time frame for addressing the matter above? Home circumstances assessment and referral to the Department of Home Affairs will be done by the 30th of May 2023. The third question, are there similar social relief cases that the department is aware of? If yes, what type of cases and how is the department planning to resolve them? Our response is no. The department does not have any similar cases. Question 4. If a citizen's right has been unreasonably infringed, does the affected party have the recourse against the government for financial loss suffered as a result? Our response is that the Department of Home Affairs is liable to answer that question. It is not applicable to us, and we request that such must be directed to Home Affairs. Thank you very much.
Honorable Mashego, do you have a follow-up question?
I'm fine, Honorable Speaker.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Thank you, Honorable MEC. The next question is from Honorable T.S. Tomo from the ANC to ask the MEC for Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. Over to you, MEC.
Thank you very much once more, Honorable Speaker. Honorable T.S. Tomo from the ANC to ask MEC for Corporate Governance, Traditional Affairs. The recent heavy rains, especially in the Lowveld, have left a trail of destruction in the province. Roads, bridges, and houses have collapsed, leaving our communities displaced. The first question. Regarding the above, can the Honorable MEC elaborate on the department's plan to respond to the above-mentioned challenges? The response is follows, Honorable Speaker. The department has the responsibility of coordinating disaster incidents in the province in line with the Disaster Management Act of 2002, Act 57, and the Provincial Disaster Management Plan. The department has successfully ensured that all disaster management governance structures, such as the Provincial and Local Joint Operation Committee, are functional. This has aided in ensuring the implementation of response plans by various sectors, including the municipalities, in relation to relief materials and provision of immediate remedy to ensure continuous delivery of services and accessibility. Question 2. What measures are put in place to mitigate damage to water and sanitation infrastructure caused by heavy rains and flooding? The response is the department has coordinated the assessment of all damaged infrastructure in the province, including that of water and sanitation. An application for disaster grant funding has since been made to the National Disaster Management Center through the submission of the business plan informed by the assessment completed with priority given to water and sanitation infrastructure. The department is currently awaiting a feedback from the National Disaster Management Center on the allocation of disaster to the province, in particular in affected sectors and municipalities. It should be noted, however, that in some areas of Nkomazi, including the Kanyamazane area, water has been restored following the implementation of the disaster response plan by both Nkomazi and City of Mbombela municipalities. Municipalities, together with the Department of Public Works, Road and Transport, continue to implement programs to rehabilitate damaged roads and bridges. We have also noted the commitment by sector departments such as Department of Women Settlements, which also started with the repair and rectification of affected houses. Department of Education, which through the Department of Public Works, Roads and Transport, has a clear plan of action in responding to the damaged educational facilities, amongst others. The third question is, how is the private sector planning to assist with donations to the affected communities? The response is as follows, Madam Speaker. We should appreciate the private sector that responded to call for the collective support during the time of disaster in the spirit of district development monthly. For instance, other than government, the following are some of the sectors that provided donations to the affected communities, such as Ntwaleng Trading, Tswelopele Funerals, KB Construction, Gift of the Givers, IUCMA, Coca-Cola, Sesol, churches, and some political parties. We call upon the private sector in the industry to support communities in time of need as part of the social responsibility. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Tomo, do you have a follow-up question?
No, thank you, Honorable Speaker, and let me appreciate the comprehensive and adequate responses from the MEC. Honorable Speaker, I'm sufficiently covered by the responses. Thanks.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Thank you, Honorable MEC. The next question is from Honorable R.J. Sitole from the Democratic Alliance to ask the MEC for Education. And I have received an apology from Honorable Sitole, and Honorable Morgan will stand in for Honorable Sitole. Over to you, Honorable MEC.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I've decided to use the pad now. I think the papers gave me a problem. I was not aware that Honorable Member had two questions. The question comes from Honorable Stolle to ask the MEC for Education in terms of Rule 102 of the Standing Orders with regards to the Department of Education providing tablets to the grade 12 class of 2022 and 2023 in Mpumalanga schools. Can the MEC indicate the following? 1. Of the 55,000 tablets that were purchased and distributed to grade 12 learners of 2022, how many was retrieved by schools or the department to date? Response: in 2022, the department purchased a total of 63,009 tablets. Initially, 55,000 tablets were procured, and due to shortage experienced, a further 8,009 were purchased to be distributed to grade 12 learners in quintile 1 to 3 schools. A total of 55,909 of these tablets were successfully retrieved. This represents 89% of the total tablets issued to learners. Theft has been presented as the main reason for tablets not retrieved. Number 2 question: has the department changed its policy regarding the provision of tablets to grade 12 learners? If so, can the MEC provide the new policy? Response: no, the department's policy for providing tablets to grade 12 learners in 2023 is the same as in 2022. Each learner is provided with a tablet that contains all textbooks for the subjects that they do, plus a package of supplementary LTSM. Each learner is also provided with data monthly for access to available resources not provided with a tablet and not on zero-rated websites, as well as access to virtual classrooms and study groups. The learners, together with their parents and teachers, need to ensure that the tablets used for educational purposes only. It is taken care of, protected, and returned to the school at the end of the academic year in its original packaging. In cases where the tablets are broken or malfunctioning, the learner must report such to the school principal, who will hand it in for repairs in line with the warranty conditions, and where it is stolen, a case must be opened with the South African Police Services and the case number submitted to the department. Question 3, has the department purchased more tablets other than the 55,000 that was initially purchased? If yes, can the MEC state how many was purchased, the cost, and for which grade will these be distributed, and by when? If no, can the MEC state why not? Response: yes, due to increased grade 12 learner numbers in 2022, shortages were experienced during the rollout of 8,009 additional tablets, and those were purchased to cover all learners registered in quintile 1 to 3 schools. The additional tablets were procured at a cost of 22.1 million and were delivered to schools by the end of May 2022. These tablets are part of the tablets being distributed to the grade 12 class of 2023. Thanks, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Morgan, do you have a follow-up question? MEC, you can take your seat.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thanks to the MEC for the response. Thank you.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Honorable Mkabela.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I would like to ask the MEC to give us the reasons for the remaining percentage of the non-retrieved tablets, since he mentioned that only 89% out of the 55,000 that were distributed and they were not retrieved. Can you please give us the reasons for those ones that are not retrieved? Thank you very much.
Maybe you can repeat, Honorable MEC. Honorable Mkabela didn't hear you. It was there on the responses from the MEC. Maybe he can repeat so that you hear.
I will appreciate that, Honorable Speaker. Maybe I didn't hear him. I only heard when he responded to the 89% that were retrieved. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Honorable Mkabela. Thanks, Honorable Speaker. Yes, it is there in the answer. I think that it was because mostly some were lost and some were damaged, and as a result, they couldn't be retrieved. Thank you.
Are there follow-up questions? Thank you, Honorable MEC. The next question is from Honorable NG Nyembe from the EFF to ask the MEC for human settlements. Over to Honorable MEC.
Thank you, Speaker. A very good day, and honorable members. A question was received from Honorable NG Nyembe, EFF, to ask the MEC for human settlement. With regard to the 500 houses were allocated to be built at Dr. Piskegay Sakaseme municipality, but not even 300 houses were built. The houses built do not meet the minimum standard and regulations required. The question is, why were the houses handed over to beneficiaries without water, electricity, and sanitation? It means there were houses that were built in the first place. The houses were handed over without services because, with regard to electricity, and department only assist by providing internal wiring for the houses, while the electrical connection part remains the responsibility of the municipality. Department deemed it necessary for beneficiary to take occupation of their houses, as this would assist in preventing vandalism and illegal occupation. There is currently a project that is being implemented by Dr. Piskegay Sakaseme local municipality to address bulk water and sewer infrastructure that include electricity. The project is anticipated to be completed by the end of June 2023. The second question, how do we trust the MEC in future when he did not fulfill his promise of providing temporary toilets and water to the community? The appointment for the service providers for the provision of chemical toilets at Vukuzakhe B has been indeed finalized. The department will proceed and provide these services to the community until such time the bulk water and sewer infrastructure is connected or concluded. Question 3. What hinders the construction to build the 500 houses when there was a budget allocated for the project? The project for constructions of 500 low-cost housing units at Vukuzakhe B is in progress, and to date, 210 houses out of 500 have been completed. The remaining 290 houses will be completed before the end of the current financial year. The delay on the implementation was due to the contingency matters such as not processed with the construction of 500 houses without the municipality making a commitment towards funding the required bulk infrastructure work. Hence, both projects are currently running concurrently. Thank you, Speaker.
Honorable MEC, can you please take your seat? Honorable Nyambe, do you have a follow-up question?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you very much from the MEC with the explanation. My question is, Honorable Speaker, in January when I called you, when seeing the disaster, when the people were using the field for sanitation, you promised that in 2 weeks' time, you will be there. It's more than 3 months now. So my question is now, should the community continue using the field while the project is going to end in June? Is that not health hazard? What do we do? Angifuni ukusebenzisa igama leli elibi kodwa baqhubeke yini basebenzisa isiganga for ukuzikhulula? And why basayiniswa ama happy letter if kungekho complete? Thank you.
Honorable MEC.
Speaker, le ndaba ngichaze kahle ngathi ukufakwa kwebulk kumsebenzi womasipala. Bongana imali umasipala ngakho le project ithatha isikhathi ukuthi isungulwe to exactly avoid what we have just said it now, Honorable. Therefore, we have started the project because municipality made commitment and project is currently running where they are putting there. However, as department, we are putting temporary sanitation to avoid exactly what we are saying. The process of purchasing, procuring is just a process that cannot be overlooked, but is almost complete to do that. Remember, houses have just been completed now, and as the people occupies their houses, that's exactly what we're doing to provide temporary sanitation. We can't wait for the completion of the bulk. We shall provide it as department. Thank you.
Honorable Nyambe, are you fine?
Honorable Speaker, MEC umayese Pixley azange athi kunema procurement kunani uthe kumphakathi in 2 weeks time nizo supplier ama temporary toilets. My question is, i-3 months iphelile. So kule 3 months usaprocure namanje. Really angikhona ukuyi-understand leyo. Ngiyabonga.
Honorable MEC.
Honorable, uyangiqaka ukukhuluma ngani. We've never addressed a community Pisco when I was there with her. No committee was there. I went and visited the project. She called me and complained, and I invited her to be part of the meeting. When we got a brief from councillors, she was there, and went and visited the project. There were nobody there. Not literally nobody. Not even the occupiers. I just saw some curtains houses that people probably might be living there. But there isn't any addressed. However, the matter when we had a brief was raised, and we said we shall provide in the meantime when the municipality is still struggling to put the sanitations. And this is what we're doing. Thank you, Chair. Speaker.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Thank you, Honorable MEC. The next question is from Honorable GP Mashego from the ANC to ask the MEC for health. Over to you, MEC.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to the honorable members of the provincial legislature. My question is from Honorable GP Mashiko to ask the MEC of Health. The Mpumalanga Department of Health is responsible for a wide range of healthcare services, including primary healthcare services and public health programs. The department also works closely with other government agencies and non-governmental organizations to improve the well-being of the people of Mpumalanga. The first question is, considering the above, can the MEC update this August House as to how is the relationship of the department with other stakeholders? The department has a good working relationship and collaborates well with different stakeholders in different platforms, including implementing partners and non-governmental organizations and other sector departments as follows. Your 3 districts and also the 15 supporting partners supporting with service delivery, including health programs implementation. In Kharsibanda, there are 15. In Ehlanzeni, there are 15. In Kharsibanda, there are 22 implementing partners that are supporting the district with service delivery, including programs implementation. Gangala district has 21 and district supporting partners that are supporting the district with service delivery and technical support. The department has also jointly developed memoranda of understanding in conjunction with sector department, amongst others with the Department of Education, Department of Social Development and COCTA, Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, with an aim of addressing social determinants of health. And the department also participates in the integrated development plan and district development model, which aims at addressing issues of service delivery to the community. The department also has a sound relationship with local business and engage in partnership with them to fulfill their social responsibility by improving the infrastructure through construction of new facilities and upgrading existing ones. There are new facilities that has been built by mines and other businesses, among others, in the Steve Tshwete, Victor Kanye, and Emalahleni municipalities. Through this partnership, the department has also received ambulances and donation from the mines and also mobile clinics. The department also engages with other stakeholders, such as traditional leaders, by visiting royal houses where a need arises. This was evident during the peak of COVID-19, where different royal houses in different parts of Ngangala were visited to discuss ways and means of better managing the pandemic, and also in part of Ehlanzeni. There's also an engagement with traditional healers in order to improve provision of health services to our communities. Traditional healers were trained on safe health practices to avoid risky practices. And even today, we started there talking about how we can work together in the issue of malaria, since we are about to be in the season where malaria in Ehlanzeni specifically, we will be dealing with the cases in this area. Good working relationship have been established with sector departments like Education, Social Development, South African Police Services and Home Affairs through referrals, campaign and capacity enhancement, continuous organized labor engagement, and in terms of promoting community participation, clinic committees have been established in the 280 PSC facilities as governance structures in Ehlanzeni, also in the different districts. And also the remain also health facilities organize open days with the support of governance structures whereby the communities are given an opportunity to interact with their hospitals and clinics to be enlightened on the services they are entitled to and also raise issues to improve service delivery. Second question, can the MEC take this August out with a particular focus on a new hospital and upgrading existing facility which are in line with government national development plan, which aims to improve quality health care for all the citizens of Mpumalanga? Yes, the department is in process of constructing a new district hospital in Middleburg in Kangala to replace the old Middleburg, whose infrastructure is in the bad state and no more habitable to render dignified services for our communities. And the hospital has also been provided with new doctors and nurses residents to attract the new hospital in a state-of-the-art facilities, which will have a total of 220 beds on completion and will provide basic package of services for the district hospital. And the new hospital is currently at 5% construction and it's anticipated to be completed before the end of December. The department is also busy with upgrading the Emamitleke Hospital to increase the number of beds and increase access to health services to increase in a number of beds have relieved the pressure on the hospital, which used to operate with an abnormal high bed occupancy rate of above 19% because the hospital has grown too small for the population. The hospital has also been provided with new doctors and nurses residents to attract the necessary skilled professionals. And I won't mention all of the infrastructure projects that we are going to be completing. How is the department dealing with the long EMS response time, which was reported to be up to 10 before they can arrive? In terms of the response, time is influenced by availability of resources, human and ambulances, as well as response vehicle. The department is streamlining the ambulances to have the following: 10 new dedicated inter-facility transfer ambulances to cater for ever-increased transfer within and outside the province. This results in pre-hospital ambulances focusing on primary responses to community call-out, whilst the former deals with healthcare facilities transfer. 3 new ambulances dedicated to mental health patients. The latter and the former can respond to life-threatening emergencies when necessary. 21 new ambulances has been procured to cater for those that have been boarded due to following accident and written offs, those beyond economic repair and high mileage, shortening the handover period at the receiving hospital so that ambulances are available for all other calls. Dispatching of rapid response vehicle to initiate treatment and triage patient monitoring calls received at the control center and their statuses. And also hiring new employees in terms of assisting us, be it your call center and also at the ambulance level. Are there any plans in place for residents of Mthonjeni in accessing health services? Their facility got banned on the 7th of January 2022. The department is providing primary health care services once a week to the residents of Mthonjeni through a mobile clinic, which is on Friday, and an average of 30 to 40 patients are seen per day. These are patients who need treatment to minor ailment, patients who need further management and are referred as per need. Patients with chronic diseases or those who need chronic care are followed up at MEC, a two-civil clinic, which is 5.7 kilometers apart, and the headcount for MEC increased from 4.5 in 2022 to 6.5 as of March 2022. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Mashiko, do you have a follow-up question?
I'm fine, Honorable Speaker.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Honorable Khrufe Morgan.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. My question to the MEC. The new Middelburg Hospital project, state-of-the-art, has once again come to a halt. The new Mapulaneng Hospital project is also struggling to be completed. Can the MEC state why it takes the Mpumalanga Department of Health more than 10 years to build a hospital, where the private sector builds a hospital in less than 2 years?
Honorable MEC.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. It does not take 10 years in terms of the time frame. We're always honest to our people. We have never said we are going to build Mapulaneng 2 years. This is due to budgetary constraint. You must understand that we are building these hospitals at once, and we're not going to have the necessary budget to build all of them within 2 years, like she's indicating on private sector. So, but we are happy that this year Middelburg Hospital is going to be completed. And of course, Mapulaneng, we're still going to continue. Then it means also even the budget that we're using at Middelburg will therefore be able then to make sure that also Mapulaneng is completed. So the reason why we are not building in 2 years is not because we are unable to, we don't have the budget to do that. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Thank you, Honorable MEC.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The next question is from Honorable P.S. Ngomano from the ANC to ask the MEC for education. Honorable MEC, over to you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The question comes from Honorable Ngomane from the ANC to ask the MEC for education. Infrastructure development in Mpumalanga schools can have a significant impact on the provision of quality education that learners receive, as well as their safety and their well-being. Question 1, considering the above, can the Honorable MEC shed light as to how many schools in the province are still subjected to pit toilets? Response, there are currently 29 schools which still have pit toilets in the school premises. These schools, however, do not rely on the pit toilets only, as they have proper toilets as well. The pit toilets are still in these schools as a result of the schools refusing that pit toilets be demolished after completion of the construction of proper toilets. Some reasons advanced to this refusal are water challenges in the school and community, or the number of compliant toilets available are not adequate for the number of learners in the school, or just the school wanting to save costs on the water bill. Number 2, while pit toilets can provide basic level of sanitation, they can also pose a health and safety risk. Can the MEC update this august House as to how many cases have been reported so far as a result of using pit toilets? The response, there is no incident that occurred to case reported to date in the province. Question 3, can the Honorable MEC update this august house as to how many schools in the province are still using pit toilets? There are currently 4 schools in the province which are relying on pit toilets as the only form of sanitation due to the following reasons. A Lamulelani Secondary School, Buhlavela District. The school had a declining learner enrollment in the previous years and was planned for closure. As such, no projects were implemented in this school. The school has 20 old waterborne toilets which are not used due to a dry borehole, and the school is using 14 pit toilets built by the SGP as the only form of sanitation. The project to provide or renovate existing toilets will be resuscitated in the current financial year as the school has registered an increase in learner numbers. Siyancoba Primary School, Ehlanzeni District, the school was existing environmental toilets which were vandalized and has then converted them into pit toilets. The renovations on these toilets will be done in the current financial year. C. Sibuko Sethu Secondary School, Ehlanzeni District. The school has 32 waterborne toilets which are complying to norms and standards. However, the school is still using pit toilets only, which may be due to water challenges. D. Mdibini Primary, Garsibande District. The school received a donor-funded project which was never completed, hence the school is still using pits only. As per the directive from the Department of Basic Education in terms of eradication of unsafe infrastructure, what is the plan for the department in dealing with the eradication of pit toilets and replacing them with more modern sanitation facilities? Response: the department has planned to demolish all pit toilets in the 129 schools through the maintenance program assigned to DBSA and IDT within the 2023-24 financial year. The department has also planned to provide proper sanitation facilities for the 4 above-mentioned schools that are still relying on pit toilets this current financial year, 2023 to 24. Thanks, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable MEC. I request honorable members to make necessary arrangements when they want to leave the chamber. And Honorable Ngomane is not here, and Honorable Mlombo will stand in for Honorable Ngomane. Honorable Mlombo, do you have a follow-up question?
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. No, I'm satisfied. I do not have a follow-up question. The program to deal with this latrine toilets, it's a very good program. Thank you very much.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Honorable MEC, take your seat. Honorable Mkabela, then Honorable Khulfi Mugen.
Honorable Speaker, I just want to check with the Honorable MEC where he mentioned the problem of water in Nhlanzeni Sibuko Sethu. Can the department provide JoJo tanks to sort that problem in the meantime while we are waiting for water? I don't know where the water is going to come from, municipality or... But if the problem is water, JoJo tanks are there and boreholes, I don't know. Thank you very much.
Honorable MEC.
Thanks, Honorable Speaker. Definitely, it's true, Honorable Member. That's what we are doing in the interim. And the municipality is coming to the party to assist us temporarily. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mine is not on this question. I want to know question 30, when should we expect the written response? The one that was mixed up, please. Thank you.
Thanks, Honorable Speaker. Thanks, Honorable Member. The question's response is right here. The only challenge that I had in the questions which I was using the papers, it was mistakenly left out, but it's still here. I can say within a very short, reasonable time, as soon as we move out here, we'll instruct them to send the answer to you.
Thank you, Honorable MEC. The next question is from Honorable B. Grobler from the Democratic Alliance to ask the MEC for Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. And we have received an apology from Honorable Grobler, and Honorable Morgan will stand in for him.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, once more. Honorable Grobler, DA, to ask MEC for COCTA. Honorable MEC, concerning support which was given to traditional authorities in the province, will the MEC answer the following questions? How many traditional councils do we have in the province, and what purpose do they serve? The answer is we've got 58 traditional councils and 2 king's councils. And in terms of the Act, the responsibility is to administer the affairs of the traditional Khois and San community in accordance with customs and tradition, assisting, supporting, and guiding traditional and Khoisan leaders in the performance of their functions, supporting of municipalities in the identification of community needs, facilitate the involvement of traditional Khoisan community in the development and amendment of IDPs of a municipality. Recommend, after consulting with relevant local and provincial houses, appropriate interventions to government that will contribute to development and service delivery within the area of their jurisdiction. Participate in the development of policy and legislation at the municipal level. Participate in development programs of the local, provincial, and national spheres of government. Must also promote ideals of corporate governance in the IDPs and sustainable development and service delivery. They must promote indigenous knowledge system for sustainable development and disaster management. Must also alert any relevant municipality to any hazard or calamity and contributing to disaster management in general. And they must also share information and cooperating with other traditional and Khoisan councils. And they must perform the functions conferred by customary law, customary and statutory law consistent with the Constitution. The second question is, what are their correct names and what are the names of each traditional council leaders or chiefs? I'm going to request Honorable Speaker that will give to the Honorable Member all the 58 traditional council, except to say that in the 3 districts we've got 17 in Hert, 30 at Hlanzeni, and 13 at Nkangala, which constitute 58. So we can't request that we don't read them, all of them here. The third question is, in the current financial year, what financial support has been given to each of these traditional council authorities? What portion of support went directly to the chief, and how much did it cost this provincial government? The response is, according to the annual performance plan, the administrative grants to the traditional councils is paid during the first term of each financial year. Each TC is supported with once-off of 300,000 case, and each King's Council receives 400,000 per financial year. This amount is used to finance the salaries of the TC staff and the day-to-day running of the traditional council. There is no portion allocated to the senior transitional leader from this amount. The total amount for the administrative grant per annual is 18.2 million. The fourth question, do these leaders receive any other form of financial remuneration or subsidy, such as vital allowance? The response is, senior traditional leaders are given stipend, which is recommended by the Commission on the Remuneration of Public Office Bearers, which is proclaimed by the state president. Each TC is given a vehicle, which serves as a tool of trade to the Traditional Council and is used by senior traditional leaders to serve the traditional community. The department utilized the transversal contract entered into by the National Department of Transport, which different vehicle manufactures. The maximum amount per vital allowance does not exist 650,000. The last question is regarding the inauguration ceremony, which is conducted for new chiefs. Is the cost borne solely by the department? If so, how much does this provincial government pay towards such, and how much does it cost? The answer is the coronation or inauguration ceremonies are functions that are normally planned by the royal families of each traditional community. A total amount of 200,000 is allocated per financial year to support cultural activities such as coronations and memo. The amount of 200,000 allocated for cultural functions is normally used for the coronations. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Morgan, do you have a follow-up question?
I'm covered, thanks.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Honorable Mkabela.
Thank you again, Honorable Speaker. I just want to check with Honorable MEC. I don't know whether this question is going to be relevant, but I just want to check if the indunas are forming part of those who are benefiting from your department, because I once received some complaints about the indunas who have been there, but they are not getting any stipends. I don't know if it's relevant. Thank you very much.
Narrator, so that the system can work. Yeah, I think it's fine now. Honorable MEC. We're no longer taking a break.
No, thank you. I was indicating that Indonesians are also receiving stipend. The only challenge, there's a certain number required per each traditional council. So other traditional councils got more than the required number. So we only give stipend to those that are required by the law. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable MEC. Are there follow-up questions? Thank you, Honorable MEC. The next question is from Honorable N.G. Nyembe from the EFF to ask the MEC for Culture, Sport and Recreation. Over to you, Honorable MEC.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to you, the MECs, members of the legislature, secretary and the staff. As a department, we have received a question from Honorable Nyembe, who asked the MEC for Culture, Sports and Recreation with regard to the lack of recreational facilities in Middle Plus village, which forces children to go to the nearest dam, which is the Drekopis Dam, to play, which is risky, and this has claimed the lives of many children in recent times. The first question is, what has the department done to provide safe, age-appropriate and adequate maintained recreational facilities such as public parks, amusement parks and playing fields in rural areas? And we want to respond as follows, that in terms of the mandate that is given to us as a department, it is not our responsibility to build such facilities. It is the mandate of responsible municipalities which continue to support with the application of the MEC fund. Our problem as a department is that we need still to sit down with the MEC for COGTA so that we can motivate municipalities to make sure that the 15% MEC fund is used for infrastructure in various municipalities. But however, we can report that through engagement with Mr. Lex Holman in Malelane, the owner of SPA and many businesses in Malelane, he was able to build 4 combo courts, which we opened 2 weeks ago as a donation. These combo courts are for playing netball, and we want to urge other business people to come to the fore and help to donate in terms of their social responsibility. And above that, the department has also a plan of building combo courts in the 3 districts. Combo courts are built in Manzana, in Chief Albert Lutuli, for the tune of 1.6 million. And the other one is built in Gwamhlanga, next to the library, which is in the tune of 1.743 million. And the other one is in Gomas. These are legacy projects, like the 2010 legacy projects that we have in Mpumalanga. So these ones are for netball. And the second question is, why are the recreational facilities not prioritized in rural areas? Like I've mentioned now, that the department is building combo courts, and these combo courts are not built in urban areas, but they are built in rural areas. One is in Chepes Reef, a deep rural area, Kwamhlanga, and Manzana Chief Albert Tutuli, next to the recreational center that was burnt there. So what we want to say as the department is that such facilities, we want to repeat that they're not a responsibility of the department, but however, we are giving huge support to the clubs in terms of equipping them with sports attire that are distributed annually to the clubs in the rural areas, together with the urban areas, your location and stuff. So ngamcela umhlonishwa ukuthi akhuthade nabo masipala. Ngiyabonga. First question. And the second question is from, oh, sorry. I'm done with this one.
Honorable Nyembet, do we have a follow-up question? Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Thank you, Honorable MEC.
There's a hand, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Mkabela. You can take a seat, Honorable MEC.
Ngiyabonga, Honorable Speaker. Bengicela ukuchecka na Honorable MEC if there are any, I want to get this correct name here. Recreational facilities under Bushbuckridge Municipality. Nje, if we do have such. It's rural areas, but I've never seen such, even where I'm coming from. I just want to check if there's any that you know that are there in Bushbuckridge. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. It's a good question. As I indicated before, that recreational facilities are a responsibility of municipalities. Us as a department, we're only given a mandate to build a library and supporting sports. Recreational facilities like your tennis courts, your swimming pools, all those are a responsibility of a municipality. That's why I said earlier on, the municipality must be able to use their MEC fund, which is 15% of their total budget of a municipality. Unfortunately, this 15% is not used in those municipalities for the purpose in which they are granted for. It's used for something else. That's why I reported that we'll sit with the MEC for COGTA so that we can get the mayors and councillors to motivate them to use that grant fund, 15% of their total budget. So if they can do that, they can be able to build some recreational facilities.
Thank you, Honorable MEC. I think honorable members will take this question to the relevant portfolio committee so that municipalities account in terms of the 15% of the MIG. The next question is from the Honorable TMJ Khrovie Morgan from the DA to ask the MEC for cooperative governance and traditional affairs. Over to you, MEC.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable TMJ Khrovie Morgan asked the MEC for COGTA. Honorable MEC, it is noted that between February 2017 and November 2017, Tembisile and local municipality undertook a project to replace pumps which were stolen at Vlagte 1 pump station. However, despite the project being completed and contractor paid, the project is not operational. Considering the above, will the MEC answer the following questions? 1. Honorable MEC, what are the challenges that have hindered the operation of the pump station? The response is as follows. Indeed, the project was completed and the contractor was paid for the work done regarding the replacement of the pumps. The main challenge hindering the operation of the pump station includes the electrical work to energize the pump station. The municipality has included in its plans for the 2023-2024 financial year a project to finalize the electric work on the project. The department commits to monitor the implementation of this project to ensure the operation of the pump station. Question 2. Has the transformer which was stolen been replaced? Is it connected to the pump station? The response is, the transformer has since been replaced and installed by ESCOM as the institution with NERSA license for the provision of electricity at Tembisile and the local municipality. The third question is, how much did this project cost the municipality and who paid for it? The response is, the cost for the project, which included the refurbishment of the pump station, the replacement of pumps, replacement of transformer, and replacement of gauge valve for the 1,000 millimeter pipeline, is the amount to 9.576 million for 99,009 cents, which was funded by the municipality. Question 4. How much is the municipality paying monthly for water distribution by tankers? The response is, the municipality is paying approximately 1.4 million on monthly basis to 27 contracted service providers for water tankers supply water to numerous areas across the municipal area of jurisdiction. Question 5. What is the percentage of completion of low-scope bulk water supply project and how much money has been spent to date? The response is, the low-scope regional bulk water scheme is currently at 9% construction progress, comprising of work packages 1 to 5 respectively. These work packages include the following. Work package 1 is 20 millimeter day raw water abstraction works, drive mating pipeline to PS2, PS1 and 2, which is Mutse water scheme. Mutse water scheme. Work package 2 is bulk pipeline from PS2 to Verena, PS3 and 4, which is 10 milliliter raw water reservoir, private main from 10 milliliter raw water reservoir to the water treatment plant. Work package 3, which is 20 milliliter day water treatment plant in Verena T and gravity main to the 2 times 10 milliliter command reservoirs. And the last one is the work package 5, which is 30 kilometer of bulk distribution pipelines to various reservoirs of 600 millimeter, 350 millimeter, 200 millimeter, 250 millimeter diameter. Important to note is that the implementation of work package 4, which is 2 times 10 milliliter command reservoirs in Verena, has not started because it is currently under the procurement stage. To date, an amount of 102,497,769 cents has been spent by the Nkangala District Municipality as an appointed implementing agent, with additional invoices amount to 35,754,475 cents currently being verified for processing by the municipality. Thank you very much.
Honorable Khrovie Morgan, do you have a follow-up question?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'd like to thank the MEC for the detailed response. Thanks.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Thank you, Honorable MEC. The next question is from Honorable R.J. Malaji from the EFF to ask the MEC for Culture, Sport and Recreation. Honorable MEC, over to you.
Ngiyabonga Somlomo. I-question lesiyitholile lephuma kumhlonishwa Malaji we-EFF ithi the Department of Culture, Sports and Recreation made an allocation of 5.9 million to Tembisile Hani local municipality towards the construction of the Pumla Multipurpose Center in 2017/18 financial year, and to date, this center has never been completed and handed over to the community. Question 1, why has the department, with the help of its sister department of cooperative governance and traditional affairs, not holding the municipality accountable and open criminal charges? Because clearly the money was spent for something else besides the construction of the multi-purpose center. And we want to respond as follows as a department. Both the Department of National both the National Department of Sports, Arts and Culture has engaged the municipality on the challenges identified, and it was indicated that the matter is under investigation. 2, are we likely to see other municipalities allocated with such grant to help establish similar centers for the benefit of communities, especially in rural areas, such as in Mkondo, Nkomazi, Bushbuck Ridge, and Dr. J.S. Moroka local municipality? As I indicated earlier on, that municipalities are advised to utilize their MEC fund, which is 15% of their total budget, to construct or renovate their social infrastructure like community halls, sports stadium, and recreation parks. Municipalities are invited to submit proposals to the to construct new sports projects or renovate existing projects. The department considers proposals and recommends the allocation of funds for the project. Up to date, over 14 projects were completed in the 17 municipalities using this special MEC from the national department. The following are projects in the municipalities that are currently benefiting from the allocation made by the National Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. Mbombela, a local municipality, Masoi Sports Center, the project is expected to be completed by the end of June 2023. Again in Mbombela, a planned construction of Tekwani South Community Stadium, project approved for the 2023-2024 financial years. Tembisile Hani local municipality, Solomon Mahlangu Stadium. The first phase was completed in 2021-22 financial year and currently busy with the second phase. Dr. J.S. Moroka local municipality, Kamer Refir project is expected to be completed by the end of June 2023. Hence, Honorable Speaker, we are encouraging municipalities to apply for the MEC fund in the national department, because other municipalities, they apply and they get the funding and they use it for that purpose. But some other municipalities are still lagging behind. Hence, I will definitely have a meeting with the MEC so that we can see how can he help in that regard to push these municipalities to apply for that fund. Where we get in as a department is where we look at those proposals and support them. We write a supporting letter. Then if it's done in that fashion, then national department does allocate. Honourable members, you can look at how beautiful the stadium of Wamhlanga is. Because they've done the correct thing. Even now, they've applied for additional funding because they must renovate the tracks, but the turf, it's fine now. Clubs are playing there. And also Nkomazi, Gamhlushwa, nabo they've done the same. It depends on that municipality. Ukuthi ba applyela le mali bayoyendana manje le mali bayi apply bese bayisebenzisela lokungasiko kokuthuthukisa i-infrastructure yetemidlalo kulama bomasipala babo. But I hope now that njengoba siletha ku attention ya MEC, both myself and the MEC, we have to meet the mayors nalabo MMC or sihlale nabo past, because children need to play, honorable members. I think children need to play. Vele kudala there were no recreational facilities. Even myself, ngiyakwati kuhlamba because I used to go eMlumati siyogeza khona. It's just by the grace of the Lord ukuthi white ingwenye tingazange sisidla at that time. But now ngeke kusendeka lokuyani because of the era we live in. Our municipalities funa badonse emakawusi bende what is right, what is required of them. Thank you.
Honorable Malachi, do you have a follow-up question?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Yes, Honorable Speaker, clearly there is no criminal charges that were opened. And since the investigation is between the department or national department and provincial, can we maybe be given the banga complete in the investigation? Because the 5.9 million that we're talking about, it's almost for the past 5 years. So maybe investigation banga ngapela. Thank you very much.
Honorable MEC.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. We are in talks with the national department. You will remember that it's not from our own coffers. It is from, it's a budget allocated by the national department. But this matter, it's under their attention. Investigations will be conducted. And I want to assure the member that once our investigation ends, we will then forward you with a report of that investigation. But really, it is not promoted, it is not supported, but we are looking at that matter. Thank you.
Honorable Malachi, another follow-up question?
Aye, ngiyabonga, Honorable Speaker.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Thank you, Honorable MEC. The next question, which is number 43 and 44 and 45, will not deal with that questions because in terms of our rules, rule number 103 subsection 5 provides that not more than 4 questions for oral reply may be put to a member of the Executive Council in respect of any one department or any particular question there. These questions will stand over to the next question for oral reply for honorable MECs. The questions, which is question number 26 and question number 30 and 31, in terms of Rule 102, subsection 1 states that a member of the Executive Council must reply to a question within 10 working days after the tabling thereof or at the ensuing sitting. We request the honorable MECs, the relevant MECs, to respond within 10 days. Honorable MEC for Health, Honorable MEC for Education, and Honorable MEC for Agriculture. Then we'll proceed with our orders of the day. The Secretary shall read the 4th order of the day.
Order number 4, consideration of reports of the Portfolio Committee on Premier's Office, Finance, Economic Development and Tourism. 4.1, third quarterly performance report of the Department of Economic Development and Tourism for 2022-23 financial year. 4.2, third quarterly performance report of the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator for the 2022-23 financial year. 4.3, third quarterly performance report of the Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agency for 2022-23 financial year. 4.4, third quarterly performance report of the Mpumalanga Economic Growth Agency for 2022-23 financial year. 4.5, third quarterly performance report of the Provincial Treasury for the 2022-23 financial year. 4.6, third quarterly performance report of the Office of the Premier for the 2022-23 financial year. 4.7, oversight visit conducted at Tembisile local municipality during the taking legislature to the people on the 28th to the 30th of March 2023, Mpumalanga Economic Growth Agency. 4.8, oversight visit conducted at the Drink Pty Ltd Water Purification and Juice Making Company, City of Mbombela Local Municipality, Ehlanzeni District on the 23rd of March, Mpumalanga Economic Growth Agency.
I now call upon the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Premier's Office, Finance, Economic Development and Tourism, Honorable T.S. Tomo,
Thank you very
to
much,
table the
Speaker,
reports.
You
are in a hurry.
Sorry to be quick. Members are hungry. So as they were moving here, the MECs were complaining. But that's on a lighter note. I'm rising, Honorable Speaker, to table before yourself and the August House these 9 reports, which are a reflection of the work that has been done by the committee. And in doing so, Honorable Speaker, I'd like to thank the members of the committee for their sterling work and commitment, and also the members of the support staff who have been supportive to us as the committee in doing our work as the committee. We really appreciate their role for ensuring that we become one of the best committees. I therefore, Honorable Speaker, like to table these 9 reports before yourself and the House for consideration, and further move that these reports be adopted. Thank you very much.
I am informed that there is no debate on these reports. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the reports as tabled by Honorable T.S. Tomo. Agreed to? As so agreed. The Secretary shall read the 5th order of the day.
Order number 5, consideration of reports of the Portfolio Committee on Education, Culture, Sports and Recreation. 5.1, third quarterly performance report of the Department of Culture, Sports and Recreation for 2022-23 financial year. 5.2, third quarterly performance report of the Department of Education for the 2022-23 financial year. 5.3, third quarterly performance report of the Mpumalanga Regional Training Trust for the 2022-23 financial year. 5.4, oversight visit conducted at Pumula Multi-Sport Center on the 29th of March 2023, Department of Culture, Sports and Recreation. 5.5, oversight visit conducted at Mjindini and Chief Funwako Secondary Schools in the city of Mbombela on the 23rd of March 2023, Department of Education. 5.6, oversight visit conducted at Elu Kanyisweni Secondary School, Tembisile Local Municipality in Kangala District on the 27th to the 31st of March 2023, Department of Education. 5.7, oversight visit conducted at Barberton Museum on the 23rd of March 2023, Department of Culture, Sports and Recreation.
I now call upon the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Education, Culture, Sport and Recreation, Honorable G.P. Mashego, to table the reports.
Honorable Speaker, our apology, the chairperson has rushed somewhere quickly. I will, on behalf of the Portfolio Committee, move all the reports for adoption by the House. Thank you.
I am informed that there is no debate on these reports. Now, the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the reports as tabled by Honorable F.M. Lombo. Agreed to? As so agreed. The Secretary shall read the sixth order of the day.
Order number 6, consideration of reports of the Portfolio Committee on Health and Social Development. 6.1, oversight visit conducted at Mloto Community Healthcare Center on the 29th of March 2023, Department of Health. 6.2, oversight visit conducted at M Africa Clinic on the 23rd of March 2023, Department of Health. 6.3, third quarterly performance report of the Department of Social Development for the 2022-23 financial year.
I now call upon the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Health and Social Development, Honorable J.C. Shongwe, to move the reports on behalf of Honorable Ngomane.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise on behalf of the Portfolio Committee to request the House to adopt the report as they were presented. Thank you.
I am informed that there is no debate on these reports. Now, the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the reports as tabled by Honorable J.C. Shongwe. Agreed to? As so agreed. The Secretary shall read the seventh order of the day.
Order number 7, consideration of reports of the Portfolio Committee on Human Settlements, Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. 7.1, third quarterly performance report of the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs for the 2022-23 financial year. 7.2, third quarterly performance report of the Department of Human Settlements for the 2022-23 financial year. 7.3, oversight visit conducted at Nkangala District on the 28th, 29th, and the 30th of March 2023, Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. 7.4, oversight visit conducted at Tembisile and local municipality on the 28th and 29th March 2023, Department of Human Settlements. 7.5, oversight visit conducted at Mobela local municipality Umchindi on the 23rd of March 2023, Department of Human Settlements.
I now call upon the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Human Settlement, Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Honorable J.C. Shongwe, to table these reports.
Ngibonge Somlomo, ngisukumela kucela indlu kuthi yamukele imibiko njengaloko ifundziwe. Ngiyabonga.
I am informed that there is no debate on these reports. Now, the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the reports as tabled by Honorable J.C. Shongwe. Agreed to? As so agreed. The Secretary shall read the eighth order of the day.
Order number 8, consideration of reports of the Portfolio Committee on Public Works, Roads and Transport, Community Safety, Security and Liaison. 8.1, third quarterly performance report of the Department of Community Safety, Security and Liaison for the 2022-23 financial year. 8.2, oversight visit conducted at Middelburg Police Station, Steve Stewart local municipality on the 14th of March 2023, Department of Community Safety, Security and Liaison. Oversight 8.3, oversight visit conducted at Tuefontein Police Station, Tembisile and local municipality at Nkangala on the 9th of March 2023, Department of Community Safety, Security and Liaison. 8.4, oversight visit conducted at Kwaggafontein Police Station, Tembisile and local municipality on the 29th of March 2023, Department of Community Safety, Security and Liaison. 8.5, oversight visit conducted at Verana Police Station, Tembisile Hani local municipality on the 21st of February 2023, Department of Community Safety, Security and Liaison. 8.6, third quarterly performance report of the Department of Public Works, Roads and Transport for the 2022-23 financial year. 8.7, oversight visit conducted at Tembisile Hani local municipality, Kangala district on the 29th of March 2023, Road D567 Mloto Village, Department of Public Works, Roads and Transport. 8.8, oversight visit conducted at Steve Tshwetle Local Municipality, Kangala District, on the 14th of March 2023, Middleburg Hospital, Department of Public Works, Roads and Transport.
I now call upon the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Public Works, Roads and Transport, Community Safety, Security and Liaison, Honorable N. Mahlangu, to table these reports.
Ngiyabonga Samlomo, on behalf of the Portfolio Committee ngisukuma nokucela indlu hloniphekile ngokuthi imukele yonke lembiko njengoba ithuliwe. Ngiyabonga.
I am informed that there is no debate on these reports. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the reports as tabled by Honorable N. Mahlangu. Agreed to?
Agreed.
Agreed. The Secretary shall read the ninth order of the day.
Order number 9, consideration of reports of the Portfolio Committee on Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs. 9.1, third quarterly performance report of the Department of Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs for the 2022-23 financial year. 9.2, oversight visit conducted at Elijah Mango Agricultural Training Center at Mbombela Local Municipality on the 23rd of March 2023. 9.3, oversight visit conducted at Tembizile Local Municipality, Kangala District on the 27th to the 31st of March 2023.
I now call upon the acting chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs, Honorable N. Mahlangu, to table the reports.
Ngiyabonga Somlomo. Ngokukhulu ukuzithoba ngicela indlu hloniphekile ukuthi imukele yonke lemibiko njengoba ithuliwe.
I am informed that there is no debate on these reports. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the reports as tabled by Honorable Mahlangu. Agreed to?
Agreed.
So agreed. The Secretary shall read the 10th order of the day.
Order number 10, consideration of a report of the Select Committee on Public Accounts, audit outcomes for the 2021-22 financial year, Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature.
I now call upon the chairperson of the Select Committee on Legislature Oversight, Honorable F. Mlombo, to table the reports.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I rise to table the report for adoption by the House. Thank you very much. The report is presented. But mine is the last report. This one, I suppose it was for Scopa.
The Secretary made a mistake. Is the 10th order is for PV Mkajwa?
Yes.
Then yours, it's the 11th order of the day. Yes.
Thank you, Speaker. I rise to table the reports for consideration by the House. Thank you.
I am informed that there is no debate on these reports. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the reports as tabled by Honorable P.V. Mkajwa. Agreed to? No, agreed. So agreed. The Secretary shall read the 11th order of the day.
Order number 11, consideration of a report of the Select Committee on Legislature Oversight on the third quarterly performance report of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature for the 2022-23 financial year.
I now call upon the chairperson of the Select Committee on Legislature Oversight, Honorable F. Mlombo, to table the reports.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I rise on behalf of the Select Committee to table the report for adoption by the House. Thank you.
I am informed that there is no debate on these reports. Now the question before the House is whether We agree to adopt these reports as tabled by Honorable F.M. Lombo. Agreed to?
Agreed.
So agreed. That brings us to the end of today's business. You are all requested to remain standing at your places until the procession has left the chamber. The House is now adjourned until Thursday, the 18th of May 2023 at 10 o'clock in this very same chamber.